yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
You know what? I want to see if we can get a want to get a visual up. Okay, Sam is here, but I'm not sure if he's here yet, and I don't know where everybody else is, but we're gonna get started with the Sunday show. A lot of things have happened this week. It's kind of hard to wrap it up, but there were a lot of things that happened. So we're gonna try our best to cover. So first of all, the week started out with a flurry of Spider-Man news. It just continued to flow and flow. I think, if I'm not, it felt like we were experiencing 2 weeks of Spider-Man news, but it could have just been 1 week. There was so much shit for Spider-Man that it had been posted by Game Informer. So that was weird. And I thought that this was going to be the primary focus of the week. And then I think it was Monday, which was a holiday. And if I remember this correct, we had got a teaser from Burger King at 7 o'clock at night of him looking inside of a Burger King bag that was bigger than your normal Burger King bag. That was the start of the sweepstakes for Burger King, where from what I believe, as far as the PS5s, which are most important, they only have 1,000, and that will be worldwide to give away, or in the United States to give away. And then they have like some game codes for Little Big Planet, for Sackboy, and then they have some codes for 3 months of PlayStation Plus. Not PlayStation Plus, PlayStation Now. So Sackboy and PlayStation Now are the codes that they have, and they have 1,000 PS5s to give away. From what I heard, these are the physical units of the PS5, not the digital units. So that's pretty awesome. Let me see. So all of that happened. We learned about Spider-Cat, which is something that obviously we knew from one of the posts from Naughty Dog. One of the posts from Insomniac. I just didn't think they were going to post it, and I think that there were some things I learned this week that I didn't want to know. For a game that obviously will be shorter than the main Spider-Man game, I felt that they should have kept some of this stuff secret, or maybe the game is longer than we all think, and maybe they have way more secrets, including outfits, that we all think. We saw a good amount of outfits. I believe in total we might have saw around 5 outfits. So, I mean, I just felt that they showed too much for a game that I believe personally, and a lot of other people believe, is going to be shorter than the main Spider-Man game. So I wish they kind of dialed it back and mixed the week with some other gaming news. Obviously, CyberPunk show back up on the scene this week with some vehicles, really good looking vehicles, motorcycles as well as cars, you know, normal cars, fucking racing cars, all of that, muscle cars, and in their own unique art style. Looks amazing, by the way. Cyberpunk is a beautiful game. I have to say, Cyberpunk is a very beautiful game. It's a game that I really want to play. I just wish that I had the option of walking around in third person. You know, that's the only thing I really wish. So that's never gonna happen. But I wish. I wish. Okay, let's get this out the way. There's just one thing I wanna kind of mess around with here. Great. There we go. Oh, fuck. Messed that up. Damn, we got a lot of fucking shit to cover. There was like, there's the Xbox lineup, the Xbox Series X games lineup that they showed off, I believe, yesterday. I also want to push that before we discuss the UI. So let's see if we can get an image up, at least for the cam cover. Let's go over to Xbox. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna make it into a slideshow, because in their little presentation, what they did was they showed 3 lineups. One would be honest, and then the others would just be you just embarrassing yourself. The honest one is still bad because there's no first party games. The one where they're embarrassing themselves, they're showing a mix of multiplats, games that are currently out, that came out this year, games that came out last year, and games that came out at least years prior to that. And then there's a third one where I believe they also show Sea of Thieves, which came out multiple years ago. They show The Tourist, which is already out. They show Ori, which is already out. And Planet Coasters, which no one cares about. War Thunder came out many years ago on a PS4 first. And it's just like, hey, let's give you an example that we have these games, and this is what we're gonna do with it. So again, we're gonna stay on all things. I'm gonna show this off in a slideshow so you guys can see it. What do we got here? Oh, that's not bad. We're just gonna rename this. Rename this one Sunday Show and put these 3 wallpapers there, because I think you guys need to see this. I want to thank the 22 people that are here. Today is my birthday. You know, one of my sisters had work today, and then I still do this on Sunday, so it probably won't be a lot. I got tomorrow off. I plan on getting on Ghost of Tsushima Legends, which is really fun. You always had that feeling that will be the game that could benefit a lot from multiplayer. Because you did have people on your journey that, they help you out, and I just felt that it would be an awesome wave-based multiplayer, and I think they pretty much showed that off. Okay, here we go. So you're gonna see the lineup change, I believe. Yeah, it might not seem like it's changing, but it is changing. This is their lineup. This is captured from their Twitter, and these are the games they're bragging about for the Xbox Series X. They claim Xbox, but you don't talk about a lineup that's related to your current generation system when these games have already came out. You're obviously trying your hardest to brag about games for your launch because you don't have any exclusives. So you're even going far back to say Gears 5 and Gears Tactics. Gears Tactics has been out for 8 months on PC, and then Gears 5 has been out for over a year. I mean, I just don't understand it. You can't brag about Assassin's Creed, Borderlands, Bright Memory, or any of those games on the first page because those games are currently out either on PC or coming to your competitor's system. I just think that not only are they trying very, very hard, I think that with all the money in the world, let's be 100% honest, they have tons and tons of money. I can't believe they didn't have enough money to get a good lineup. Again, this is an issue that they have to decide on. I don't know why it's something that they're still suffering with, but I think that they could do better. But right here, this is not something you should even brag about. Maneater came out and it was also on PC and PS4. Why are you bragging about that game? You want to show off something that makes your system unique, that only your system can do, that only your system has. And when you look at your lineup, that's not true at all. You don't have one single game that is not on PC. Again, with the tons of gamers that have been going towards PC, building PCs, whether for gaming purposes or other purposes, but still having a capable PC, I find it funny that they don't understand that no one needs to buy the console they spend a lot of money creating. Hello? Hello? Hey bro, you there? Oh, okay, Sam. My mic's on now. Oh, cool. Where's my headset? Okay, Sam, I can hear you. Fuck. I fucking hate Discord. Okay.
There you go. We did it. Round of applause. We did it.
I forgot I muted
Read
myself.
donation, jackass.
Oh, okay. Oh, fuck you, man, and that fucking cat. Wait up. Come on, YouTube, load the fuck up. For once in your life, please. Okay, there we go. Rafe, $8 super chat. A little something for your birthday, JTech. Enjoy your day, bro. Getting back to football. Shout out to the PlayStation Legion and the PlayStation crew in the chat. Thank you, man. Thank you. Thank you so much. It's gonna be a fucking crazy 2 weeks. We have 2 weeks until we hit the month of November. Literally, we really have a full 2 weeks. The November doesn't start until Sunday, so you have the whole week, Monday all the way to Saturday of October of the last week, and then as far as this new week, we have the whole week. That would give PlayStation 2 additional weeks to share any other information that people are clamoring for. In that regards, I think they touched on a lot of stuff. Interface teardown. They have to show off the create menu. But it does seem like the more they show off, the more they take the lead as far as who actually has the more next generation system. So, the picture-in-picture thing, Sam talked to me about them taking that away from Xbox. Obviously, now that they see PlayStation having it, if they can customize their interface that way, they might add it back with an update. Obviously, PlayStation wanted to wait to show off their UI just to see if Xbox would change theirs. Because Xbox did change their UI to look very much like the PlayStation UI. We have tons of images of that, but I think, yeah, it's just a lot of crazy shit. So, as far as this is concerned, this is their lineup. It's on repeat because you guys need to see this. This is the Xbox Series X lineup. These are the games you'll be playing day one. They did give out a pretty suspicious number of only 30 games that will be optimized to take advantage of the Xbox Series X when PlayStation is already doing 100 games. Now, they gave you that number in the beginning of the year, but everybody thought that was only 100 backwards compatible games. They actually have 4,000 backwards compatible games, and Xbox is not giving that number out. So again, the farther we get, or the closer we get to the launch of both of these consoles, the more information we're going to receive from PlayStation that Xbox already has given out, and it just makes PlayStation look a lot better. You know, whether it was the way they crafted and made their system, or the way they have their interface set up, it's just much better. I got a couple things to check out as far as the fucking UI and shit. What the fuck? Nope, that's not it. Let me see. So as far as the UI update, which I do want to give up, I think that it's sitting at only 10 million for PS5, and Xbox is sitting at 307,000 views in 1 month for Xbox's UI, and 10 million views for the PS5 UI. Again, more people care. Likes, views, they all equal to interest. Interest equals to people going out and buying your system. If people are not interested, people are not going to buy your system. So for any Xbox fan that loves to say, oh, you're talking about views and like that, none of that matters. It matters a lot. It means people are paying attention to what you're showing. And when they see more of what you're showing and they care about what you're showing compared to the other guy, that person's going to be the winner. 10 million people wanted to look at the UI. 8.6 million people wanted to look at the teardown. Xbox's teardown was in the hundreds of thousands. Didn't even get to 1 million. And then when you're talking about the reveal of the console, there were 33 million views for the PS5 reveal of the console versus 14 million views for the reveal of the Xbox Series X last December, which is a whole 10 months ago. And they're still sitting at 14 million views. The interest in these individual consoles matter. And time again, you will see more people just care about PlayStation over Xbox. I'm going to go hop to history real quick. There we go. So the history is they got so many new so many new shit on fucking YouTube. God damn. I just want to see the history, please. Okay, there we go. That's better. So yeah, the PS5 is at 10 million exactly. The Xbox is at 307,000. Then the other research I've been compiling over the days, the teardown for the PS5 is at 8.6 million views. The reveal is still at 33 million views. But if we go to the Xbox section, where we see the reveal, it's at 14 million views, and the Digital Foundry teardown, the one that I believe matters the most to the Xbox fan, because you guys are on Digital Foundry's dick all the time. They only got 428,000 views. They couldn't even get 500,000. And by the way, I think this video is like months old or something. When did they do this? In March? Yeah, they did this shit in March. March 28th is when they did the teardown. You mean to tell me they couldn't even get 500,000, but PlayStation was able to get 8.6 million views on their teardown? And it's like every big thing that people are bitched about, they show it and people continue to watch it. You going from 8 million to 10 million in a quicker amount of time, from the teardown to the UI. Now, I'm going to go ahead to the chat real quick and ask you guys, what is the next thing that you would want to see? Because people kept worrying, oh, PlayStation, you're not showing this, you're in trouble, and oh, they haven't showed this, and this is bad for them, and it's really not. It never was, and anybody that says that, maybe you can think twice before you try to worry about that shit again. But in all honesty, everybody in the chat, welcome. Thank you for showing up. Give me something that you haven't saw for PlayStation that you feel that they need to show, or they're gonna fail, or they're not gonna sell a lot of systems. Like, what are you worried about the most? What haven't you seen that you want to see? I go first. So that's the thing I haven't saw that I feel they need to show, or it will fail. It is a game that is not really related to the system selling. Obviously, the system has sold out multiple times. Returnal, I definitely want to see that, but I don't think it's a November 12th launch title. I think it'll be launching the early part of next year. So I think they still have a good amount of time to show it off. Ratchet and Clank, the same thing. Early part of next year, they still have a good amount of time to show it off. But as far as Destruction All-Stars, they roughly have about 3+ weeks to show that off. And then, yeah. So, you got 2 weeks before November. You got 3 weeks before the systems come out. Time is going to go faster than you guys all know. Sometimes it might not. I think the last week leading up to the consoles, it will go slow because we want it to go fast. But as far as these next 2 weeks, they should go pretty fast. I want them to show Horizon Forbidden West gameplay. Yeah, I do too, but again, still early. You gotta remember, you're gonna be dealing with the new Call of Duty game. Devil's Child just subscribed to the channel. Thank you, man. You got to deal with the new Call of Duty. You're dealing with the new casual Assassin's Creed that you get almost every fucking year. Sports games, shit like that. Those are games that are going to dominate the holiday season. I don't know why they still do, but a lot of casual gamers continue to want to buy the same game every year, all the time. And it will make it a little bit difficult to show off some of these games and not in the best time. So Horizon and Returnal that are coming out next year, one of those games obviously coming out in the beginning of the year, just like Ratchet and Clank, you're probably going to want to show those off anywhere between December and January, but not leading up to November, because you don't want to give the wrong impression to gamers and say, hey, look, they're showing this game off before the console comes out. Maybe they're going to bring the game out with the console, but they're not. So they don't want to be misleading. Something that Xbox is still doing with Halo. Same thing with Gran Turismo 7. Gran Turismo 7 is not a launch title. If they show more of that, it might mislead the consumer into believing the game is ready for launch when it's not. So again, you want to be honest, and you don't want to confuse the consumer or the gamer into believing a game is ready when it's not. So I'm excited that they're focusing on the games that are coming out at launch and not the games that are not ready for launch. Because you would give the wrong impression to people that say that, hey, they're actually close to bringing it out, and they might be months away. Might even be a year away. Same thing with God of War. I highly doubt God of War is coming out next year, because we haven't even saw a gameplay teaser. I think that game can obviously get pushed back to 2022. I don't think that game's coming out in 2021.
I don't even know why they did that.
Yeah,
that shit was weird.
Yeah, that was weird. That probably was the weirdest thing. I mean, I'm excited for the next God of War journey, but let's be honest. We know how good God of War looked in 2018, and I just don't see them being ready to bring that game out unless it's going to be a cross-gen game. And I don't want any more of those, by the way. This is my public opinion. Personal public opinion. I don't want any more cross-gen games from PlayStation first-party studios. That's how I feel. I think they need, for going forward, take advantage of the system that you have, the new one. Just take full advantage of that shit. Amazon? I'm not pronouncing your name right.
Amazing, dude. Amazing.
His name is Amazing. It got that H in it. Okay, Amazing. Actually, I would want Sony to expand PlayStation Now to stream on more than the PS4 and PC. I'm also big into PlayStation VR, and I want new wireless headset, but honestly, those are just wants, not needs. I'm grateful that you acknowledge that. Yeah, those are wants. A wireless headset, probably gonna happen. Expanding PlayStation Now, not gonna happen. They did it before and people didn't fucking support them. So you gotta understand, they had PlayStation Now on PS Vita, on PlayStation 3, on cell phones, on laptops, on smart TVs, and a lot of people did not support it. So they dialed it back and they put it only on PS4 and PC. So again, there was a time period where PlayStation Now was on more platforms, just like what Xbox is doing with Game Pass and xCloud. But people did not support it, and it was a waste of fucking money in their eyes, so they dialed it back to only 2 platforms. PlayStation VR 2 is not coming soon, Umar. Nobody has even seen it. They haven't shown a teaser, so please don't put that information out there. All we have heard is rumors. All we have saw is concept. Once we see a teaser, we can start saying, hey, it's coming soon. But we don't have any information on that. So you can't put that hype out there and nobody knows what the date is or what it actually looks like. You know, PSVR could be fucking months away. It could be a year away. I don't want to put that information out there. I don't know a lot about Wi-Fi 6. I heard the PS5 has it, but Xbox doesn't. That means it will probably be a lot faster and stronger than normal Wi-Fi. But you're going to probably want to make sure you have a good Wi-Fi router too. What I think PlayStation needs to show And Xbox hasn't shown it either. Is their create button slash share button. I want to see more of that. I see that Xbox showed off the customization of your account, your profile. I see PlayStation did not show that off this week. They showed off people being online on the service to do the little demo that they did for the PlayStation UI, but they did not show people going into their accounts, people going through their friends section. You see what I'm saying? Those were the things I noticed that weren't there. I gotta make sure I download one thing, which would probably be the UI, so we can look over it ourselves. So Sam, is there anything you haven't seen that you need to see?
That I need to see? No. I mean, I only didn't see the Spider-Man new footage, which I chose not to see.
No, I'm talking about, as far as the people that were crying about, oh, they're not showing a teardown, they didn't show the UI, they're doomed. Like, is there anything that,
Stupid.
Yeah, I know, right? Yeah. It's like, they were going to show it, but do you see the secrets that they had in the UI? The parts that they did show and the teardown? You don't want your fucking opponent to see that shit and then act like they have something better. They waited until the right moment where they could not counter them at all. It's
nonsense, man. I never needed to see it for PS1 and PS2. Why would I need to see it now? It's nonsense.
You know what? I don't even remember watching the teardown for the PS4. I just pre-ordered that shit without it, bro. I think I had already pre-ordered the system before I saw the UI as well. I mean, it was just like that this fucking year. I pre-ordered the PS5, paid it off, the camera too, before seeing any of that shit. Cause I have faith in them. I know they're not stupid, bro. I know they're not that fucking stupid. They make good shit.
Unless like the UI actually hacked my bank account or gave me a virus, I wouldn't care. I wouldn't care what the hell it looked like. I'm trying to play the games.
There you go. Now, I mean, I haven't saw any themes or they didn't show that, but there's a lot of things they didn't show. It doesn't mean they don't have it. It just means they didn't show it. So keep an open mind with that. Guys, I'm downloading the video so we can have it on replay. I want to download the better version, so we got to download the 1080p version of it.
What they got to do now is just make sure people get the pre-orders on time.
That's what I was saying. We talked to Somatic. I don't know if he'll be showing up today, but we did talk to Somatic. Somatic was very worried about when the next batch of PS5s are going to be there. I would tell everybody to take your ass to Burger King and get fat, but that's not promised. I did do a test yesterday. I didn't win shit. I go back to Burger King today, and then I'll go back to Burger King 3 times after that. After 5 times...
If you're willing to pay a little extra, man, eBay's not a bad spot. Some of them aren't marked up as much as y'all think.
Yeah, some of them are like 1,000 for a bundle. Some of them are like 900. It's really, really not that bad.
You can get one for 600.
Yeah, it's not. I'm not telling people, hey, it's worth 6 or worth 9. But if you're getting down to the wire and it's like the week of the launch of the console, they bring out another batch and it fucking sells out or something like that, or they have systems ready day one and it's not enough for you to get one. If they have it on eBay, you might want to consider that. I'm not saying that's something you need to do, but this is the one thing people really should consider. You have roughly 115 million PS4 owners around the world. There's no way PlayStation can make even 50 million consoles if people wanted to move. It's no way PlayStation can make even 30 million consoles. 15 million consoles is within their power from, when we all gobbled them up to the second wave to maybe March or April of next year. But I don't think they can create 30 million consoles from September to March of next year. It's just not humanly possible. And with the COVID shit, it puts a little strain on making sure that it's even possible. So, you know, good luck to everybody that doesn't have one yet. Whenever they put some more out there, hopefully you guys will be getting yours.
I know on the 13th, I'm thinking, was that Monday or Tuesday, whatever, they had a restock on Ant Online, but that shit's long gone.
Yeah.
That's the site that Yellow gave me. That's how I got my pre-order.
Yep.
So
I did
it's
see
a legit site.
I saw one go up this week. Yeah, I did see that go up. And yeah, by the time I caught up with it, yeah, you're right, it was fucking gone. It's pretty sad that we're competing with scalpers out there. It's also sad.
Y'all competing with me.
You're also competing with a lot of casuals that don't really like PlayStation, but they're pretty much dick riding this time around. It's kind of like what happened with the PS4. There was a lot of people dick riding, didn't really care about PlayStation, but it was the popular choice. And it's kind of like they.
Can I No, I was gonna ask, can I plug in my eBay digital version? People that want it.
Oh, I don't give a fuck.
Alright, I'm looking for 1,000 or more. If any of y'all want to buy it, you can contact me on Twitter, on YouTube.
Yeah.
Again, I'm not forcing you to, but that's what I'm looking to get.
Oh, guys,
if you want that badly,
yeah,
hit me up.
I've already told people I'm doing the same thing. I'm not even joking about this. I'm doing the same exact thing Sam's doing. Whenever I get a physical, that's what I'm doing. That's not even a fucking thought. Like, I'm doing that.
You're laughing, Umar. I've seen people pay up to 15,000 for one, so 1K is really not a lot in the grand scheme of things.
Not a lot at all.
Judging on demand.
You do what you have to do to survive, Umar. Even if you're not surviving.
This one for 15,000. They had over 30 bidders. It's like, wow, man, this is ridiculous. But you got to take advantage of that stupidity at the same time.
Yeah, because see, the closer you get to the launch, they're gonna push the prices up. That's what people are not understanding. I think my next big purchase is gonna be that TV. I already have the gaming chair. I got every other little thing I need. I need to get a TV, and then after that, I'll be getting a new desk or something like that. Maybe a new entertainment system. But yeah, that's it, bro. Like, I want to, like, whatever my room is gonna be, it's gonna be an office. You know, that's what it's gonna be. My room is gonna be my office.
The one you're moving into?
No, I'm changing it into office right now, and then when I move,
okay.
Yeah, when I move, it's gonna be more of an office. You know, I'm gonna paint the walls. I'm gonna have different shit on the walls. I'm still gonna have a couple of my scrolls, but you know, I'm gonna have a wall that's gonna be completely green screen, and then another wall have my scrolls and shit. That's what I want. Yeah, I've been thinking of different designs and shit. Just want to get a lot of the shit out of the way. The rebranding of the new logo, the new profile picture, shit like that. I'm like, let me knock all this out of the way, and then, you know, like I said, if I have to stick with the digital, I already have it paid off. You know, I have all of that paid off. I'm waiting for the games at this point, to pay those off at the last minute, because they're digital. You know what I'm saying? They're not going anywhere. I think we have all the shit. We're gonna take a look at the UI. I think it's almost done downloading from YouTube. We're gonna take a look at that, and talk about some stuff we saw, we didn't see, and things we want to see. Great, that's perfect. Okay, and where is the UI? Almost done. The UI is done. Great. So let me change that into what I need it to be. So again, what you guys are seeing right now, just so you understand, what you're seeing is the Xbox Series X launch lineup. There are 3 different images that Xbox has posted on their official Twitter page, claiming that this is their lineup, and they seem to be very proud of it. I don't know why.
Being serious?
Dead serious. Dead serious. That's why I kept it up there so long. Like, nobody's joking. This is what they put up. It's not something I put up. This is something they put up. I wouldn't waste that much time on something that shitty. But yeah, guys, this is Xbox and the power of the cloud. So, you know, you do what you gotta do.
Don't tell people what the game on, nor do I really care, but if you're gonna get that system day one, I'm kind of curious as to why. And if it's legit brand allegiance, then that's fine.
What are you talking about? The power of the cloud?
Yeah, that Xbox, Phil Spencer said everything.
No, yeah, I mean, that's what I was thinking. I haven't made the post, but I was thinking about making a post on Twitter. Like, is this like if you want to move back to Xbox? Because you know there's some people that want to move back. If you want to move
great. The
back,
gentleman in the chat just legit read my mind. The launch lineup doesn't really matter. How does it not matter?
Okay.
If you're looking to get it day one.
Okay, why doesn't it matter? Yeah, we need to know that. That's a good
I'm gonna waste more or pretty close to $1,000 on either console, and you're gonna think that key factor doesn't matter? I would love to know why.
Oh, there it is. Oh, I was looking for that shit the whole time. I couldn't even fucking find it.
Let's just say Xbox thing. It matters to you. I mean, yeah, it matters to the majority of us because we're looking to play games day one on a console when it launches. So I don't understand how the launch lineup for a launch console doesn't matter. I'd love to know his actual explanation for it.
Yeah.
So what am I supposed to do? Look at the console and just like fucking clean it? I'm trying to understand him.
Shit, I don't fucking know. I mean, it's the power of the cloud, I guess. I mean, to be honest.
Does the cloud get me high? I mean, I'm trying to understand that.
Yeah, the cloud can get you high. If you believe in the cloud. Now, like, on a serious note, I would love to know, too. I would really like, I don't think
we're going to get an explanation.
We're going to get an explanation because the explanation is in the details of another explanation.
I mean, Falconeer, Gears Tactics. So far, this is a really heavy-hitting lineup I'm naming, by the way. And what else? And I can't even think of it. Like, what is the other game?
Yeah, Gears Tactics came out 8 months ago, right?
Right.
Okay. And then what?
Yeah, Falconeer. You're a bird and you fly and do stuff, I guess. And
you do bird people.
I mean, it's like Panzer Dragon from what or Dragoon, I should say, from what I read.
Yeah, but do you do bird things or?
I think you just shoot stuff.
But you're not a bird.
There aren't that many games. There aren't any heavy hitters. Will also be for the last generation. What are you talking about? This whole year's already over, dude. Are you high?
What are you? Hold on, bro. What are you talking about in the chat, bro? Don't do that. PlayStation had the most fucking games this year. Even what is it? Nintendo didn't have that many fucking games. Come on, man. You can't fucking do that.
Heavy hitters were released in the first half of the year anyway. The latest game we got on PlayStation was Ghost of Tsushima, now Sentinels, which nobody really knows about.
Yeah, 13 Sentinels.
Right.
Neo 2, Ghost of Tsushima, Last of Us Part 2, Genshin, Fall Guys, not on Xbox, not on Switch. What else came out? We were just talking about this shit yesterday.
He's on that Snoop Dogg juice more. Like, even if you don't want to get all these games that are on the launch line for PS5, you still have a variety of choices in different genres. So you got Sackboy, Destruction All-Stars, Demon's Souls, obviously Spider-Man, The Pathless. You got a couple more indies I'm not thinking of. You might be interested in Bugsnax. And then, I think I said Godfall, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's 5. That's 5 AAAs.
And then remember, everybody, your PS5 comes with Astrobot. So even if you say there's no games, it still is a real game on your system when you get it. So shut that shit up. And you get 18 AAA amazing games with the PlayStation Plus collection. So if you're dick riding on PlayStation but you weren't confident enough to buy a PS4 this gen, you get 18 games you didn't have access to. If you don't include the multiplayer that you might have played or might not have played on Xbox or PC.
By far the best lineup in their history that I can think of. They got one for every genre they covered, aside from racing, I guess, but you can pick up Dirt 5.
I don't understand people like that. Like, come on, man. If your system is shit, don't try to make it seem like somebody else's system is shit.
Or how'd you forget Dreams?
Yeah, how did I forget Dreams? Shit.
How did you forget Dreams?
Dreams came out, yeah.
Yeah. The only major games for... That's 2 games, though. Like, what do you want, 19 games? It's a remaster. No, it's a remake, dude. You gotta look at the... Yeah, he's just trolling on purpose, man. I can't take this guy seriously. Right, but even if they're coming in 2021, what are you getting an Xbox that's in 2021? You're not even getting anything that soon. Even if you hate the PlayStation launch lineup. You're not getting anything on Xbox that's exclusive for like 2 years. Minimum. Like the first game they're gonna get is Hellblade 2, man. That's still a ways away from what we've been told.
So, Sam, I think I was right. I was right, bro, about that shit. Jeff Keighley's gonna give out what games are gonna be fucking nominated. I think he gonna do that shit anywhere between the middle of November or at least the fucking very, very, very end of November.
I don't get why that idiot settles at 5.
That's what I was saying, bro. Sometimes it has been 6. I don't know why they would settle at 5 this year. There have been too many fucking games. There's too many games that came out this year, bro. And too many games are about to come out. I don't think he should settle at 5 or 6. I think he should boost that shit to 8. There's a lot of games, man. There's a lot of fucking games that came out this year. Yes, Xbox didn't have any good games, but, you know, PlayStation had great games. There were some good multipliers. Nintendo has some pretty good games, you know? I mean, call it is what it is.
I'm still only bringing it up to... I just listed you, like, what, 6 or 7? You're just choosing the 2 that you like, but ignoring the other ones that other people may have interest in. Like, I know, everybody I know is pretty much getting Sackboy day 1.
Oh, fuck, I forgot about Sackboy. Yes, that's a day 1. That's definitely a day 1.
It's a cooperative platformer.
Yeah, it's a good... It looks...
spin off of a really successful IP. You just can't ignore something like that because you're not interested in it.
What did he just talk about?
He's just acting like it's just Spider-Man and Demon Souls coming out. When I literally listed the rest of the shit that's coming out, he just goes back to like it's only those 2 games that are coming out.
Oh, come
on. No, you can play with other games. You're just choosing to pick those 2.
Oh, man, you don't gotta do that, man. Don't do that.
Be funny is if a Spider-Man got the worst reviewed out of all those games. It'd be freaking hilarious to me.
But would it be hilarious to me?
Nah, because he'd probably bitch.
Oh, okay. I would. That's pretty true.
Media bias. He's black. They don't like Spider-Man. I can picture it.
It is very true that I would do that. Because the power of the cloud, pretty much absolute. No, I'm just serious. I mean, let's be 100% honest with everything.
Spider-Man and Sackboy would be those games stinky. They're getting the upgrade, and Horizon Zero Dawn whenever that comes out.
I just don't understand what this guy's trying to say. Like, just, we're talking about Xbox. What do you have on Xbox that you want? What games that are not on PC?
I hate this fake neutral shit.
No, that's what I've experienced this for 2 generations now. Oh, I own all platforms. You can't piss me off. Yes, I can. Because as soon as you have to go dig in your pocket and claim that you have 2 fucking platforms on all the platforms, I have pissed you off. Because you can't defend the platform that we were initially talking about, which is your favorite. And if you have a favorite, you're not neutral. Like, oh, I hate that shit. Dumbest thing I ever fucking heard.
Yeah, that's me, Steve. Great point, dude. Like, what he's saying, he's kind of, to me, he's hinting at that he's pro Xbox.
That's cool.
By saying that.
Yeah, that's cool. You could be pro Xbox all you want. It still doesn't fucking... You don't have games. Simple as that. You don't have games. That's all I'm going to say. You don't have any games, and it's alright. It's alright that you have no games, bro. No one's going to fucking, like, bitch at you because you have no fucking games. Come on. That's a you problem.
It's not about teams. It's about who's giving you the best bang for your buck. So, in that respect, you're going to have a preference. Like, you're completely overthinking this. Like, if there's 1 year that Xbox or Nintendo gives me more games, I'm going to them for that 1 year. That's the way I play it. I play it year by year. I don't go like, hey, this is my team and I'm sticking with it. That's nonsense. I go where the games are.
But do you go where the names are?
Lately, they've been on PlayStation. I mean, that's not my problem, right? That's Xbox and Nintendo's problem.
I don't like what you're saying. It's illegal.
Ori and the Blind Forest, Animal Crossing, that's all those two other places gave you. And you want to compare that to what PlayStation dropped this year? It's ridiculously one-sided. It's not even funny.
Yeah, that is pretty fucking funny.
The Medium, Hellblade, Zenimax, I just literally said you're not going to get those in 2 years. Well, if the game isn't on said system, then I'm going to have to get that system to play it. What are you even talking about, dude? The Medium's already out on PC. What else? Hellblade, like I said, 2 years in it. You're not going to get anything from the main Bethesda people for like 2 to 3 years. Not being nice. They take forever to do these games.
Oh, I'm not even gonna fucking lie about that. We already know that shit. Like, if that's one thing we all can agree, yeah, Bethesda is not gonna put out their games not when you think they are. Sorry, guys.
No, you're gonna get Deathloop in the other game. That's
the way
you're gonna play them.
You'll get those soon. And they're not even made by like the all-star Bethesda team. Let's be honest about that.
Well, they're made by pretty respected studios.
Yeah, but they're not like by the Bethesda that makes Elder Scrolls or the Bethesda that makes Doom. Like, those games, obviously, they can come out at a reasonable time. But I'm talking about the big, heavy-hitting Bethesda games like Elder Scrolls and Doom. Like, you might be waiting another 3 or 4 years for those games. Not to finish, but for them to even consider making them. I mean, Elder Scrolls, they say, is early in development, but, I mean, do you guys remember Elder Scrolls when it comes out? Do you remember how buggy it is? Yeah, it might be one of the best first-person RPGs of your time, but you gotta remember, like, it's not always a perfect game when it comes out.
You can play it in both views.
I know you can.
So he said the UI is the reason. That's fine, man. But like, just be honest. Like, you're coming up with a lot of bullshit before. Just be honest as to why you're on a console.
The UI is the reason for what?
Said he plays it because he likes the UI and how it outputs the games.
On Xbox?
Yeah, on Xbox.
Okay. You know what? Okay.
What's funny is a lot of those third-party games, they get stuff first on PlayStation. So wouldn't you be more inclined to? Yeah. All right.
What up? Hold a fucking phone, bro. First of all, good news. We got the UI video captured on my fucking on the computer. We have it downloaded. The one thing I want to say, right, is you're full of shit because the UI is a ripoff of the PS4 UI. So if you like the new Xbox UI, you basically like PlayStation. So you might as well buy one. I don't understand. I don't understand. Like, you settled on that? You settled on I'm on Xbox because of the UI? Are you on Xbox because of the original UI from 2013, or are you on Xbox because of the newer UI from 2019? Like, which UI made you an Xbox fan? Because it will let us know how stupid you sound.
It doesn't matter if it did it first. What are you talking about, man? I have both. The UI is a lot fucking less responsive and slower on Xbox.
What do you mean who did it first? It's not about who did it first. It was already there in 2013.
It's not even the point.
We've had the same UI for fucking 7 years. Xbox just tried to take advantage of how good our UI looks. Like, come the fuck on, bro. Give credit where credit is due. That's all you have to do. Don't be a smartass about it.
Doesn't make sense either. How does Xbox Live give you more when it actually gives you less? Alright, man, this is a great conversation so far.
It is a beautiful conversation. It is a conversation of legend. Not really, but...
Oh, you're getting stuff first. You're getting timed games first. You're getting timed third-party content first. So it's not just the exclusives. That's the reason.
We also have a bigger ecosystem over here. Let's be 100% honest.
See, that's the correct answer. I just prefer... That's fine, dude. We don't... Just admit you like it for whatever reason. It gets your... You know, tickles your fancy. I don't want to be fucking crude. It makes you feel better about your day, whatever. Just admit that you prefer it. But it's not for the reasons that you listed because they're just not factual.
Exactly.
Like, Xbox Live does not give you more. Like, what kind of... That's just... It's a flat-out lie.
But...
Dude, I have both consoles.
But is it a flat-out cry?
Cry for help.
No. Not cry for help. A cry
like,
for...
their games on Gold are way bootier. Game Pass, you don't, like, what are you using that shit for?
This dude say way bootier. That's a new one.
Game Pass. I mean, you get PS Now. Like, what? That's, again, it's not something that they can't match.
We're getting the biggest flurry of games on PlayStation Now that you will never get, bro. Let's just knock it down. I'm being serious. Let's knock that shit the fuck down, man.
It gives you better quality games every month. It doesn't lock you behind a free-to-play wall. Same with Party Chat and everything else.
We could play MMOs with trophies without PlayStation Plus online. Oh, bro, shut up.
The only thing on Xbox Live is that they give you unlimited access to their cloud, whereas it's limited. I know they increased it on PlayStation, but it's limited. So that's the only thing I can think of that's a flat-out advantage. I mean, compared them to Xbox Live. I don't know. What was the Xbox Gold line? Are we really comparing this? You really want somebody to put... This is what I'm saying. Like, this isn't challenging.
Hey, bro. That's what he wants, bro. He's lonely.
Somebody want... Umar, I know you have a list or something. Just put it in the chat and just end this shit.
Yeah, just end it, Umar. We believe in you, Umar. Save us from this...
To compare the last year to Xbox Gold, it's ridiculously laughable. Like, it really is.
Oh, yeah. Didn't they just get a cricket game?
Some bullshit, yeah.
They got the Tales of Vesperia Definitive Edition, which is good, but they don't... You know, like, a lot of people got on me like, oh, it's not completely bad because of that. Well, let's be honest. Is that a game you think they're going to play? No. No. They didn't even brag about that fucking new list of Xbox Live Gold games, so I'm sorry, buddy. I don't think they're going to play that shit. If there's one person that knows about the Xbox fan base, it's probably gonna be me. And it's because these guys are fucking stupid. I've dealt with this evolution of the Xbox craze for 2 generations, where they were so respectable last gen, but now they're laughable.
Oh, let me know if this is a pattern, man, because, you know, we're talking about this fake neutral thing. If they end up admitting PlayStation's better than Xbox, do you see this trend where they end up picking Nintendo over everybody now? Or is that just me?
No, I saw it before.
Okay.
Yeah, I saw that. Now, however, they never did that last gen, because there were valid reasons why 360 was better than a PS3, up until the last 3 to 4 years of the active console war, before 2013. So I would say, okay, so 2013 is when the systems came out, right? So between 2009, 2010, 2011, and 2012, Xbox got their ass handed to them gradually until the PS3 was the winner of the console war in sales, as well as the popularity and talking points and everything else, that it started just gaining steam and it just never stopped. That momentum they carried into this generation, and they allowed that momentum to flow throughout the whole 7 years of this generation into next gen. I mean, you look at it that way, that's impressive. That is so impressive. They kicked Xbox ass with their worst system, and Xbox's best system lost. I mean, wow. History, people. History.
Yo, we just explained it to you earlier. Do you pay attention, retard?
No.
You're not taking sides. You're going to what gives you the most at that particular time, if not near future. That's really all it is. It's not rocket science. This isn't a sports team. Maybe for some people, not me, but
it is for me.
If Xbox drops shit, what's up, buddy? If Xbox drops shit next year, I'm going to Xbox for that year. If it's more than place, it's that simple. Man.
My boy Eddie.
Science.
What up, y'all? What up?
You ready for that PS5?
Yeah, I'm ready.
You got?
I'm a pre-order mine.
I know. Whenever you know, make sure you keep looking on the news, and wherever you look at, just make sure you look at that shit, bro. Oh, Sam. People want to know why I like fucking Destruction All Stars. Let me read this off to you guys before we go. We're not going anywhere. Before we go to the next topic. Okay, clearly Lucid knows its vehicles. Wipeout, MotorStorm, Blur, Metropolis Street Racer, and Project Gotham Racing are all titles worked on by various members of its team over the years. So, when you shit on Destruction All-Stars, you're shitting on games like Project Gotham Racer. You're shitting on games like MotorStorm. You're shitting on games like Wipeout. I could see before they even confirmed. Now, one thing that we did get confirmed is a couple of developers from MotorStorm and Drive Club were working on Destruction All-Stars, but I had no idea people that worked on Wipeout and Project Gotham Racer were also on here, and Blur. This is a impressive game. You have people that have worked on Wipeout Fusion, Wipeout Pure, Wipeout Pulse. They worked on this game. People that worked on Wipeout HD and MotorStorm Pacific Rift, which was one of my favorites. They also worked on Destruction All-Stars. I mean, this is just a crazy fucking list of people that worked on these games. There was also somebody that worked on Wipeout 2048 for the PS Vita that's working on Destruction All-Stars. Yeah, this is gonna be more than what people think. Write it off as trash if you want, but don't come back later and say, "Oh, I was wrong," because I'm gonna make a fucking big deal about it. Yeah, Destruction All Stars. That's just about to be fire. It has to be fire.
So who playing Ghost of Tsushima game right now? Who playing it?
I have played it yesterday, but I had to go out for birthday dinner, and then I played it a little. I played the tutorial on Friday before I left for work. But I'm off today. I'm off tomorrow. So I will have enough time to play it. Hopefully I can team up with Sam or other people that I know in the chat. I know a lot of you guys got Ghost of Tsushima. The game is multiplayer. Let's team up, okay? So if you guys are free between tonight and tomorrow, all day tomorrow, let me know. I want to get on that shit.
I can't play right now.
It's alright, bro. One of these days you're going to be able to play it. Don't know when, though. Don't know when. I'm just, I'm doing something stupid on my Twitter that I shouldn't do. Is the guy still in the chat, by the way?
Yeah, I was gonna say, you realize this launch lineup is way worse than the Xbox One console launch lineup, so it's off to a worse start.
Yeah, it's pretty
y'all
bad.
Still entertaining that stupid asshole? Y'all
He called him an asshole. Oh, that's funny. Let's
Jason, how you feel about that that Xbox thing talking about they going only be on it for like doing all them gonna only be for Xbox? How you feel about that?
I'm okay with that. I have two Doom games. I have a game from 2016 and I have a Doom game from 2020. There are some pretty good Doom games as far as Elder Scrolls is concerned. The only one I really care about is Oblivion. And I don't even think that had trophy support, if I'm correct about that. But I'm cool. I'm cool with missing out on Bethesda games. I mean, you gotta think of a type of gamer I am. I don't play Madden every year. I don't play wrestling games every year. I don't play Need for Speed games every year. So you're talking to a gamer that skips games every year, some pretty popular games. I'm perfectly fine. I skip Call of Duty games every year. You know, these are games I skip that everybody else has to play. I don't. So I'm okay. Me, I'm okay. I don't know about anybody else, but I'm okay. So there was, I don't know how it's gonna look, but I'm gonna try it anyway. So there's a slideshow I want to make.
You never know. What are you talking about, dude? The writing is on the wall.
Oh, no.
So I'm late responding to this guy, and I apologize. Okay, so I wanted to get some images of the UI, and then I wanted to, you know, kind of like destroy this guy. Now, I don't know how well it's gonna do, but I'm gonna get the images of the UI, and we're gonna mix it up and show him what the UI looks like. So one thing I will say is I don't understand why he believes. I don't know why he believes that the Xbox UI is a reason to stay over there when PlayStation had a better UI.
Yeah, PlayStation got a better UI.
So I mean, that's just me personally. I don't understand it. Now maybe he can help me out. Maybe he can help me understand.
I'm trying to get on game chat now, but my shit tripping. My internet tripping.
Okay, that works. Okay, but where do we put it underneath? Do we put it over here like this? Yeah, we put it over here like this. Okay. View counter has to be up. What about Super Chat? Super Chat has to be all the way over top so we can fucking see that shit. Oh, Super Chat is at the top. Okay. So, this is what I was talking about, right? So you guys can see the UI, right? And I took the liberty of doing something. I'm gonna do something extra. You know, I cried when I did it. You know, and I'm a grown ass man. Who gives a fuck? I found old pictures. I lost my Vita last year. I don't know where I lost it. And it hurt. It hurt because I had the Vita since like 2011 when it came out, and it fucking hurt the shit out of me. But I have the Vita UI. It is my UI for the Vita, and I will say I miss it. It was a very customizable UI. You could put apps, music, games anywhere on the screen you want it. It was very customizable like a cell phone. So the cool thing is, yeah, the cool thing was you see what the UI looks like here. This is the PS5 UI. This is the Vita UI. You know, and then you got, you know, all the other shit, you know, right here, like the Xbox. This is the Xbox Series X UI. But then, as soon as you go to the next UI, this is the PS4 UI. It's even more dynamic, you know. I still, me personally, I don't, you know, I will never fucking understand it. I don't understand why people say the Xbox UI is better than PlayStation, and I don't understand how people don't understand it copied off of the PlayStation UI. So, I mean, maybe someone soon can, you know, kind of show me why they're better. But if you were to look at it, you know, and I take the scrolling off, no, not that. If I take off the chat box, and you guys can just see the UI, and you see my boy Silent Adam sneaking in here like Metal Gear Fisher, whatever that name of the game is. What is it? Sam Fisher, Metal Gear Fisher, whatever. Yeah, whatever. It's there. But yeah, I wanted to get these pictures. I wanted to get direct feeds. I wanted to put it in front of you guys, he is telling us the UI is the reason why he picks Xbox, even though they didn't change their UI to look like PlayStation until last year. So unless he's a brand new gamer to this generation, he can't sit up here and say he picked Xbox because of the UI. Because the UI has changed between 2013 and 2019. And they ultimately settled on, hey, let's just make that shit look like the PlayStation UI.
Ah, shit.
So this is Xbox, this is PlayStation. You see PlayStation had the way that they had. All they did was basically make the feature game, they made it higher, and the PlayStation one drips below. That's pretty much the only thing I saw. They also don't have a game after the feature game. PlayStation does. Again, PS Vita's UI was just still fucking my favorite. One of my favorite because it was so customizable. How you doing today, Adam?
I'm doing fine.
Good morning. Good evening. We welcome you here. I have no clue about these.
Why are you fighting with people?
Oh, I'm not fighting. This guy is talking about he chose Xbox, and then Sam kept.
I can see what he's talking about.
Yeah, then Sam kept grilling him about why, and then he ultimately settled on I chose Xbox because
UI.
the UI, and it's like, really? Like that? I mean, do you look at the UI all the time? I mean, I love the PS4 UI, don't get me wrong, but I'm like, was that really a valid reason?
Not really.
No, the whole thing that kind of got me into it was he was like, "There's no preference," when he clearly has a preference. That's all I was trying to get out of him, and we got that out of him. So mission accomplished.
Everybody has a preference, man. Shit, like everyone has a preference. If I had a Nintendo and I had a PlayStation system right now, my preference would be PlayStation. It just would. I still like and respect Nintendo. I like Zelda and Mario from back in the day and Golden Sun and all these other great games that they gave me as a child in the early teenager years. But I still would stick with PlayStation because for the majority of my life, they gave me the games that I need. And gave me the experiences and journeys that I've never been able to experience elsewhere. This is a gaming channel. You know, I love themes. I love UIs. I have a whole section talking about dynamic themes and wallpapers. However, I don't spend as much time looking at the UI as I want. Maybe more than other PlayStation gamers, but, you know, it's nice and it's pretty to look at. What really matters, and what PlayStation has settled on, is how you can make it easier for the gamer to get to where they want to go.
That's what it is.
And that's what they've done.
One of the problems with PS4 was the factor of, again, it lagged when you were going from game to menu.
So this is what I wanted to ask you, Adam. Was there ever a UI breakdown by another YouTuber outside of Xbox that I have not found? Because I found their video where they talk. I'm talking about Xbox. Because I found the UI video I've been doing these comparisons with, but they didn't spend a lot of time showing off the UI. They just...
Well, Xbox.
Yeah, they showed a couple different developers. They were sitting in a chair. They were bragging about it and did this. They showed it for like fucking 5 seconds or so. Then they showed another aspect of it for roughly less than a minute as well. And it's like...
Because, again, there was so much... Again, when you look at the UI, before they updated it on the Xbox, not much has changed, apart from a few little caveats. It's more to do with... It's more to do with fine-tuning with the Xbox One. So they made it quicker, snappier for new console and shit like that. Because a lot of people did not like the Xbox UI because it wasn't snappy enough. It was cluttered. There was so much shit in there. I'm looking at the picture right now. Yeah. It's exactly the same as it was before. Like the way they use cards, right? It's the exact same thing. Couple things different here and there. But the main thing is it's just optimized. So now when you scroll, you're not having to load anything up. It's very snappy. It's very responsive. that sort of thing. There's a couple other things, like again, like I said, there's small little changes here and there. They ain't done much. Whereas PlayStation, right? You look at the PS3 UI, you look at the PS4 UI, you look at the PS5 UI. Again, the PS5 UI look somewhat similar in some extents, but there is much of a difference, that you can spot. And there is a lot of things that they've done with the PS5 UI, which is very fucking impressive, like very impressive.
Okay.
And a lot of people, that are UI UX designers, that have a profession in this sort of thing, freak the fuck out about the UI because they're like, damn, they've done some really good shit there.
Okay, so I got a video that's probably better than Xbox's, and this one is coming from GameSpot. So big shout out to GameSpot. They had a 6-minute video where they showed more of the UI than the initial video of Xbox. And even if it is pretty much the same, they should have done a breakdown either way to show us the things that are different. Like I said, they did a developer style, a developer diary style showing, and it was less than a minute or so, something like that. It was a very quick video. And I feel that even if it was pretty much the same, they should have showed people the things that are different. I think that
there wasn't much difference.
I know, but let me just put it this way: I never saw the UI. I saw fragments of it last year, enough to do my comparison video, but it's not like they really showed it off a lot. And I think that there are a lot of people that don't go to Xbox, like myself. I'm not an Xbox fan, and I want to see it. I want to see what maybe we've been missing. Again, big shout out to GameSpot for posting a video that I can look at to break down what their UI is, how it looks different, and yeah, it is a lot more blockier, and PlayStation has rounded out those blocks, similar to iPhone. If you remember, iPhone, right? They have their little apps, but they got the roundness to the edges of them. So what we're gonna do is I made sure that I had all of this shit set up for you guys over the last couple minutes. We're gonna go take a look at the UI. We're gonna break down the whole video, and I'm glad that Adam's here. As of right now, Adam, the UI video for PS5 is sitting at 10 million views in 3 days.
That's all.
Yes, that is. I think that's the highest amount of views any UI video for a gaming console has ever gotten. In 3 days.
Because it's different. It's different. It's new. It's again like it's PlayStation as well. But again, based on if you care about these sort of things, these numbers, people are engaging with PlayStation more than Xbox. Surprise.
Exactly. And that's what I'm. Okay, look. What I've told people is engagement matters. Likes and views matter because there's an interest into even clicking on that video. And that interest and that curiosity will have you look at the whole video and make a decision quicker than you not looking at an Xbox video.
Yeah.
Potentially you have a few million people. Let's be generous. Let's say you have 3 million people that have viewed that video a lot of times. And some of those 3 million people are going to go buy the system if they haven't already made the decision to pre-order it yet. Or they want to buy the system, even if they don't have any more pre-orders. That matters. No one can sit up there and say a view and a like doesn't matter. Not when you got a level of 10 million. There's a good amount of people that are very interested in buying a PS5 based off of the UI.
But I feel sorry for Microsoft.
Why?
Because they say they're gonna update their UI when they release the consoles.
What are you talking about?
When they said that's what they was talking about on their Twitter. They gonna update it, something like that. I don't know if it's true or not. They say they gonna update the UI when the consoles come out. When the consoles come out, I don't know if it's true or not.
Did you hear that, Adam?
No, but what? Wait, what? Who are we talking about?
He said Microsoft says they're gonna update the UI when their consoles come out. I didn't hear anything about that.
Because on Twitter they were talking about the UI. Their UI is like 900 IP, something like that. But I don't know.
Oh, the resolution. Okay, Eddie's talking about the resolution. Remember, people were bitching about the resolution.
Yeah, they gonna update that. Not because because when it comes to
Well, I thought they. I don't remember. I don't know if they didn't on that, but I'm pretty sure they said something around the lines of they were going to do 4K on the UI. Yeah. I thought, but then against Xbox, which again, Xbox have the tendencies to fucking say something and then it doesn't happen. It happens a fair amount of times where Xbox say one thing, next thing you know, oh yeah, no, I'm not doing that.
Okay, so guys, we're looking at the PS5 UI, and it seems like the quality is way too high for the live stream, but I'm fucked up on a frame, and I probably gonna fuck up on another frame.
Yeah, I was listening to that. I watched the interview with Phil Spencer was talking about.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I watched that interview too. I'm like, what the fuck this dude talking about? This dude was confused. He said he not gonna put their games on. He not gonna put it on that.
I mean, platform. This is something we talked to Adam about this, bro.
No one should be believing in Phil Spencer's fucking words. I'm sorry. You're an Xbox fan. Again, I'm like Sam. If there's a game on there, I'll play it. The fact of the matter is, I do not believe a fucking dicky about what Phil Spencer says, because since he became the lead guy and then obviously got promoted, a couple of years after, and he's basically been leading Xbox into the future of Xbox, with Series X and the S, the cloud-based stuff and all bits and bobs. Like, I have not believed a fucking word that guy has said ever, because every single time he does an interview, it's either he will say what he does, right, in that interview, and then either a week, a month, maybe a couple of days later, it's a completely different method. It's a completely different, message, to whatever it may be. I remember at E3, after every...
Hold on, Adam. The video I downloaded is giving the stream a bad quality, because obviously it's a lot. So we're going to be moving over to YouTube using the Elgato to go view the live stream. So I apologize, but I have the video saved on my computer. I'm gonna downgrade the quality to 720p tomorrow, edit it so we can be looking at it in a little bit better. But as of right now, just letting you guys know, it's not good for the live stream quality. So I am taking it off. It's a lot going on with this UI. It's a very high quality video, by the way. I just want to let you guys know that's what's going on. I apologize for that. So the stream quality is really bad. Yeah, that dipped the stream a lot.
Yeah, so I just don't believe a fucking word Phil Spencer has said in the past. I mean, every single time he's done an E3, post E3, whether it's a video interview or it's a written interview, the amount of times where that guy comes out and says something and slips over himself is so fucking funny. And I remember, back in June or May, he did an interview with Ryan McCarthy, and he even states in that interview, I've got to watch what I say next, because and he knows that he said some shit in the past where he contradicts himself. And he did well in that interview because, again, there's a lot of tricky questions in there which he didn't fuck up on, which I'm quite surprised about. And to be honest, yeah. I don't know. Phil Spencer's
I agree, man.
I understand that Xbox fans want to believe in him and shit like that, but there is some off shit with him. There really is with Phil Spencer. I don't really, again, I remember people, I talked to a lot of Xbox fans talk about how, he's a savior of Xbox, he's done this and that for Xbox. The fact of the matter is, if you think about it deep down, anybody could have done what he did and even better. People would have actually gotten studios halfway through this generation that we're technically still in. People would have gotten certain games out or released certain games in a better format than what he did. They would have probably went down a better route with the console, as well as other factors, whether it's the UI, whether it's the two SKUs that you're getting at launch, and There's loads of things with Phil
Adam
Spencer. Sorry.
91, JayTech 73.
JayTech 73, rated R.
I just don't like He's a corporate guy anyway. He's a he ain't about the games. He's not about the community. He's a fucking corporate guy.
Hey, hey, you can't tell the Xbox community that because they think he's one of them, man.
Hey Jay, hey, what's the difference between Phil Spencer and a lizard? Nothing. They both shed their fucking skins.
One's a human and the other one's a lizard.
Bro. They both shed their
They're fucking lizards. Fuck.
Adam, this the thing about him though. He say I think he say he not gonna put games on the PlayStation 5. He say he not gonna do it. He say he will not. I don't know. I like what the hell is dude talking about?
Let's put it this way. Let him do that. Do you know how backlash works? Do you know how overreactions work? Do you know how what is it? What's the word? Outrage works. All of that bullshit. Every time PlayStation does something, man, I'm pretty sure a lot of people gonna be sitting up there mad as shit. They can't play a Bethesda game on PlayStation, and they're forced by Microsoft to buy their system or play it on PC. I mean, that's what they want. Guys, we about to go take a look at the UI. Obviously, there was a lot going on, and then I attribute that to the 1080p feed of the UI, and I'm still having problems.
That drone wasn't in 4K.
The one I downloaded wasn't, but when I was looking at it on my fucking computer, it looked like it was running at 60 frames native, but I can't confirm that. But it was very fast, very smooth. The UI is gonna give this stream problems unless I downgrade it to 720p and then edit the video and put it up. So I'll do that tomorrow for our live streams.
Yeah, if I was watching again, if like you big money, what you sorry not big money, a fucking Eddie, what you were saying, man. I mean, again, it's funny to me because I am the sort of person that can spot bullshit when I see it. And when that you read the Kotaku article, that's how I done it anyway. I read the article, and the amount of shit that was just really fucking off-putting from his stance of like, he went from one thing to another. That whole interview with Kotaku was fucking sketch from top to bottom.
Yep.
And he was dodging questions.
But you want to know what? People should have knew the fucking shit was sketchy when you heard him. He was being reviewed by Kotaku, of all people. Kotaku.
The question that was asked, right, and again, a lot of Xbox fans are clarifying this as Bethesda games are not going to PlayStation. And again, we still don't know this. He asked him the question of, do you need PlayStation and Nintendo to make back the money? The answer is no, you don't. In which, again, the answer was, again, laid out a bit differently, but he said yes, right? In the sense of they don't need PlayStation and Nintendo to recoup that money. That is true. He doesn't. Because after fucking knows how many years it's going to take, they will recoup that money. Game Pass is not going to recoup that money. Game Pass is losing them money. Game Pass is not making any money. And if you don't believe me, it's as easy as Googling it and finding out 3 or 4 different articles that literally state that it's not making money. It's just not.
Do they know that Netflix doesn't make a lot of money?
Well, yeah, they should do.
No, I'm talking about the Xbox fans. Like they like to also call it the Netflix of gaming.
I mean, yeah, they don't.
The
because
Netflix
again,
of gaming.
That's what they like to call Game Pass, but Netflix loses a lot of money also.
You know, I'm pretty sure if Netflix was making money, they'd probably. I'm not gonna lie to you right now. If Netflix were making Netflix were making money, they would have tried to, and I mean this, right? They would have actually tried to keep Daredevil, Punisher, Jessica Jones, Luke Cage, those sort of series, right? Those Marvel films, the main ones, the popular ones. They would try to keep them on their service because that thing makes them money. Right? Those series were big, but because they're not making money, nah. Disney took that shit away within an instant. And again, they haven't clarified if those series are going to come back on Disney Plus, because we just don't. Like, they're dormant right now. But, you know, yeah. I mean, looking at Game Pass, right, it's... I've had this discussion with loads of different, like, Xbox fanboys, whatever you want to call them. Like, oh, but Game Pass is amazing for consumers. Of course it is. No one's denying that. It's great for consumers. But if Bethesda bring out Elder Scrolls 6, and it is exclusive to Xbox, and you're getting it on Game Pass only, and you're getting on Game Pass on PC only, right? And that game looks doesn't look as good as previous Elder Scrolls games, it doesn't act like previous Elder Scrolls games, then you know reason why. Because they haven't got the budget to put that into that game. Games I mentioned this to numerous fucking people. Games do not cost a couple $100,000. They cost hundreds of millions of fucking dollars, man. And Xbox are like, oh yeah, we're fine, man. It's like, oh, they're owned by Microsoft, so they've got $1 trillion company behind them. But that company doesn't give them, just because Microsoft owns Xbox doesn't necessarily mean that they have the $1 trillion backing them. They do not. They have millions of dollars, yes, maybe billions, maybe, but again, they have a budget every year, or every so often, from Microsoft that they have to use and then hopefully profit from. And with the consoles that are coming out, right, they have put so much market in. Here's the thing about this, which is going to be, I'm going to say this right now, this is going to be the make or break for Xbox. This is the make or break for Xbox. Since December last year, they have been pushing the Series X, right? And then obviously they eventually showed the Series S, right? They've been pushing those two consoles to a massive degree. And all that market, all that push, whether it's online on Twitter or YouTube or Twitch, or if it's on an advert, all that is money spent on those consoles. If that console does not accumulate set amount of units sold, and let's say, like I've mentioned a few times, if PlayStation were to outsell them 3-1, 4-1, which is a huge possibility, by the way, huge possibility, they're in fucking trouble. And the thing is, I don't feel like I am under strain, basically, to say that PlayStation won't be able to outsell them 3-1. Because I can tell you right now, they are. Based on the lineup of games that PlayStation have got within the first, I would say 2.5 years, maybe 3 years, rolled out. To be honest, if I went to go as far, I could say that pretty much half of the generation, PlayStation have a great lineup of games that are basically ready for...
Do you see anybody making edits of the UI for Xbox to make it into some game they're waiting for? Because I just saw somebody do that for Kenna and some other games. Because the UI looks so good, people are making edits of their favorite games. I mean, look, again, it's just what is it? It's called U4. It's just a U4 of PlayStation. It's like people are so excited. Like whatever PlayStation releases, it's just the excitement level is crazy. It's just wow, bro. Xbox. Damn, I don't know if you saw that video. Did you see that video about that guy? He was from the UK or something. And he was like something about Xbox has an image problem. This was like way back when Xbox was getting into it, like right after PlayStation. Oh my god, bro. I got the video, bro. Yeah. I got the video. Hold on. I got the fucking video. And he was like, Xbox has a something image problem. It's not gonna be changed over this and this and that.
Yeah, but the thing, I just saw the guy. Is this Audio Gamer, the guy that you guys are talking to, right? I'm guessing, yeah.
I guess so.
Audio? Is that the guy? Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm guessing so. All right. So to reply to this guy, right? What does he say? So, but does it really matter if thingy outsells them? Theoretically, not really, no. But the thing is, PlayStation, that's their mentality. PlayStation's mentality is to make a console, make a piece of hardware to then sell to X amount of people. Xbox, I'm gonna say right now, and I see a lot of Xbox fans think that they're gonna, they're out there to sell X amount of units. They're not anymore. Xbox are they're here to not sell you on a platform anymore. They're here to sell you on a fucking service. That is what they're doing. That is their mentality right now. They don't care about hardware anymore. To be honest, a lot of people in the industry have been asking this question. Why are they making the Xbox Series X and the Series S, or the Xbox Series X, as powerful as it is, when they know that most people, Phil's technically came out and said it. He backs the Xbox Series S to be more popular, which, again, there is caveats to that are bad. And one of them is that, again, when it comes to game development, devs tend to want the more powerful system to work on so that they can deliver on their vision. Xbox Series X can only do a set amount of things on that sort of criteria before it faults. And another thing I found funny about that is that, again, I've said this in the podcast before, that console is going to be the downfall to Xbox. And everyone's like, oh, how is that? Oh, that's bullshit. It's like, oh, because of what? The price. Yeah, that's because it's cheap. It's like, yeah, of course it's cheap. But if you're a developer wanting to make the next Witcher game and you need the computing power, you need the bandwidth, you need X, Y, and Z, right? You ain't going to get that from the Series S. I said it in the podcast before, and I'll say it again. That console will be left in the dust by developers, maybe not their own, but third-party developers. It'll be left in the dust within the next 2 years. And Xbox will be like, we can't do anything about it. But don't worry, we will deliver on our promise, making our games to that system. Oh, that's fine. That's great. That's absolutely fine. But if your fan base starts to go, oh, but I've just gone and spent whatever, how much ever it is going to be on a Series S, and you're telling me I bought this console and it's not being supported? Yeah, sorry about that. My bad. That's it. Well, Microsoft is a software first, a hardware second. They don't care if... Well, then, I'm going to say this right now, Audio Gamer. If they don't care, then why are they in the console market then? Ask me that. If that is what you're thinking, why are they here? Why spend hundreds of millions of dollars on building 2 SKUs of a console, maybe even more, because there is mentions about more SKUs, wasting money of Microsoft's when you could just basically just cut to the chase, tell people to game on PC, Game Pass is on PC, and just bite the bullet there. Why make a console if they are a software-based company first? Again, they would save more money if they did that. Let's be honest. Like, I don't get that. Like, if that was me, if I was Microsoft, I'd be like, okay, listen, we're not making an Xbox Series X or S anymore. We're not making Xbox anymore because the fact of the matter is no one's buying them. We're just making them and we're losing money. So instead, we're going to be putting Game Pass on PC. We're going to be supporting PC all the way. We're going to be jumping to xCloud via the PC, maybe do some other things, continue our controllers, that sort of, bits and pieces, right?
Oh, shit. Tidix from Twitter?
Yeah.
Okay, we got a confirmation here for the trophies. Trophies will be giving back to gamers. They will be giving us things like a profile banner, and they will also be giving you things like a profile avatar, and this will be in the game. So if you get a specific trophy, it will give back to you in the game. It will unlock things in the game for you. So that's pretty interesting, because normally, you're striving to unlock the trophy, but once you get the trophy, it just adds to the trophy level. Now, unlocking that trophy will unlock something in the game for you to use. So that's pretty awesome. Just wanted to add that in there, just in case.
Yeah.
So that's pretty dope.
So we're just here. It's a way to have a place in the living room, yada 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 yada. Yeah, I mean, again, if that's the case, then why not do something like PlayStation did a few years ago with PlayStation TV or PlayStation Now, a little box? I'll ask you that. If they wanted to just find a way into your TV, into your living rooms, they could literally, I'm gonna say this right now, Xbox could literally give you a dongle or a little box.
Did you read that super chat by True Witty? A $2 super chat. Phil said buy and PS5 and get Game Pass later. Yeah, he did. He did say that. I mean, not Phil Spencer per se. Xbox official Twitter page said that to a gamer that wanted to move on to PlayStation, and Xbox told that gamer that it's okay if they move on to PlayStation 5 and they can come back anytime and use Game Pass. It's the dumbest message you could ever fucking send. I don't see PlayStation saying, hey, go on over to Nintendo. Hey, go on back over to Xbox. Like, no, you don't want to. No, you're not telling them to do that shit, bro.
Yeah. Yeah. Again, like, I mean, again, if I go back to what I said initially, if PlayStation, again, if let's say within the first year I've mentioned, if they sell 40 to 50 million units, right? Let's say 40 to 30 million units. Let's put that out there, which they could do, depending on how it all goes down to the next year.
There is a special enemy unit close to you.
I would not be shocked if, again, if the Xbox, sorry, if PlayStation do those numbers within the first, year, right, and Xbox have got the most powerful console and that sort of shit like that, again, they've been touting this up for a bit of time now, and they come out thinking, fuck, we're giving you everything, but we're not performing as what we should be. That's the point. That's the point for Xbox. Don't care if they've got, if they're doing it for, trying to get everyone into different factors of a SKU or whatnot, whatever it may be. Microsoft are spending money to make said console to hope to get profit back. You do not spend money on hardware if it's not going to sell. Think of it in this way. What did Microsoft make years ago? Something called the Zoom. Did that thing sell? No, it was an absolute fucking cluster.
What about Mixer?
Mixer is another thing. Yes, they put so much money into that, including giving 30 million to Ninja and 10 million to Shroud in contracts. And what happened? They both said, fuck Facebook Gaming, we're out. Give us our 30 million, give us our 10 million, we're out. And they're back on Twitch.
Or YouTube.
They literally robbed Microsoft blind, and I guarantee you Microsoft were not happy with that. They were pissed. But they tried to break into streaming and it didn't fucking work. It was never going to work. But on top of that, which is a bit of a bullshit thing from Microsoft, and I'm going to say it right now, Microsoft are absolute fucking wankers for this. They got all these new people into Mixer, streamers that needed a brand new platform to gain themselves, right? Not talking the big streamers, the smaller streamers. And what happens? They all get cut. And after when that shit, I remember on that day when they announced that, I remember seeing so many people that were streaming that service pissed. Absolutely fucking fuming. Because Xbox did this shit. I'm sorry, man. Microsoft,
Adam, listen, read what he just said. Read what he just said. He just said something else.
Microsoft has the money to experiment on. Yeah, of course they do. But again, experiment as much as you want. But if you keep failing at different factors, it doesn't do anything. You're still spending money, you're still losing money. Investors, stocks, whatever you want to call them, are going to be looking at that. Now, what I find funny is that can make in a day. I'm going to say this right now. What you just said there, what Sony spends in a year, Microsoft can make in a day. It's funny. That's really funny. And this sort of goes under the stigma that people think that Sony doesn't make any money.
Yeah.
Like, I'm sorry, but like, let me open your eyes a bit. Sony Music, Sony Films, Sony Animation, Sony cameras, TVs, laptops. No, not laptops. Sorry. TV, headphones, cameras, phones. But again, they're not as good.
TV shows.
You've got the whole gaming thing. I'm sorry, bro. I call bullshit on that. If you said to me maybe in a month or 2 months, I would agree with you. But you are... Nah, bro, I'm sorry. Get the fuck out. Nah. That's like when I heard Dreamcast guy say something along the lines how their cameras don't make money. Are you kidding me? The vast majority of people that stream on Twitch, that are big streamers, use a fucking Sony camera. Especially the new line that they just dropped. Every big streamer is buying those cameras. And they cost thousands of dollars. Or even thousands of pounds as well. They are some of the best cameras with Canon and Nikon. And people are like, they don't sell those. No, they don't. They do. Yeah, they fucking do sell those. TVs, they sell a good amount of them. And then again, going back to what I said, the film, animation, let alone them, I think the Crunchyroll thing and all bits and bobs, like those sort of things, they're making money off that. They got their gaming infrastructure. People tend to just forget about these things. Like, Sony doesn't make money. Get the fuck out of here.
Boy, they making bray, especially anime movies. Especially anime movies.
It's like when people talk about the Bethesda deal, right? And this is the thing. I would like to see in the future, I would like to see Sony mention this story in the sense of who got Microsoft into getting Bethesda? It wasn't them. They probably had no intention to buy Bethesda. The thing that made them buy them was PlayStation. Because PlayStation were making early deals with their first 2 new IP games, which is Ghostwire and Deathloop. And then they were working on Elder Scrolls and Fallout 5 or whatever it's going to be fucking called. And if you don't believe me, there was numerous people in the industry talking about how Sony was approaching every third-party fucking studio. One of them being Imran Khan. And that scared Microsoft. They bought them outright. Fair dues to them. That's fine. That's absolutely fine. Because they had the money. They had the balls to do that, make that jump. But don't get it twisted. They made that purchase based on the fact that Sony were going to go for them before them. And they just bit the bullet and went, fuck it, no, we're getting them before you. Sorry, no. No, but again, Audio Gamer, you may not have said it, but you literally, you assumed it. You literally just said they make more money in a day than what Sony do in a year. That's bullshit. I'm sorry, I've got to call you out on that one. That is absolutely fucking bullshit. Maybe being hypothetical with your thing, and I understand that, but that's absolutely fucking bullshit. They do not make more than what Sony do in a fucking day. They don't. That's just a stupid thing. Maybe a month or 2 months, yeah, I'll agree with you. But a day? Jesus, people think that Microsoft pisses money or shits money. They don't. They get a steady income of money, of course they do. In which, again, they are a $1 trillion company, so you expect that. But, again, just because of that, just because they're a $1 trillion company doesn't mean that they make bank like billions of dollars within fucking a few minutes. Nah. Nah. Yeah, disgusting. So tell me, why is Microsoft one of the top three? Again, I'm not disputing that. I'm disputing what you're saying about fucking Sony. I'm not disputing that they're not the top 10. The fuck? Why? You know what I mean? That's the other thing as well. No, I'm going to hold this on you a bit here. You say that you don't, again, you like everything, right? And all bits and bobs. But to me, it sounds like you know a lot about Microsoft. You know a fair amount. And I'm not going to put any words in your mouth, but to me, it does sound like that you are fucking tight with them more than any other company. And you said you weren't. You said that you play on other platforms, isn't that blah blah. No, you don't settle with one thing. But it sounds like you know a lot more there. Nah, bro. Sorry, man. Not about that. Fucking idiots. Sorry. Call bullshit on that.
See, this is why I don't go up against a lot of Xbox fans that want to go to.
I don't go
to
up
this
against
black.
all fans.
No, he's in a black hole of denial. He wants to go to one section, goes to other section. We destroyed him on the UI. We destroyed him on the game. Now he wants to talk about Microsoft, the company. This is gaming, you idiot. If you get destroyed in a gaming discussion, you should fucking leave. Or maybe I should just make you leave.
Well, again,
we are gamers. We are gamers first. We are not investors. So I'm not really understanding why you want to talk about the financials of Xbox when we're talking about video games.
That's what I mean about Xbox fans. I'm sorry, but every Xbox fan always brings up the financials of Microsoft. I understand Microsoft own Xbox. I understand that clearly. But every single time someone says that, they always go into these times when, oh, they make so much money, and it's like, oh, it's like a lavish. If that is the case, right, then why are, like, if they make an X amount of money, so much money, then why isn't that we are not getting a certain quality of criteria of game from Microsoft over PlayStation? Why are they not going out and getting the best of the best? Why are they not making, spending those $1 trillion or billions of dollars of money, whatever you want to call it, right, on Xbox to get them to win, to get people in on Xbox fully? Because again, they don't get that same bankroll. They don't. They get a budget. Every year they get a budget. Whatever the contract is. They get a budget with some summary of money, and they spend it, like, equally, right? Reasonably. And then they go from there. If Xbox wanted to be the best box, as what Xbox fans like to call it.
Illegal.
Right? Then they would shower that shit with money. They would go ham. And I'm not saying they won't, because there is mentions about them buying more studios and this and that, and that's fine. Go ahead and do you. But like you said, Jay, earlier on, if Xbox do that, and again, a lot of one thing that people tend to forget about Microsoft and Xbox is that a lot of the industry don't like Microsoft in it, because they are a $1 trillion company. People are threatened by the fact that they have $1 trillion in their bank account because they can make moves that no one else can. In which, if they do that, right, and again, we recently saw the aspects of people talk about monopolizing the industry, which is not what people want to see. Xbox have a clear advantage of doing said thing. If they do that, this is where it gets really interesting. And I do wonder what's going to happen with companies if they do settle or if they do back away. Because if Xbox, this is theoretically say that Xbox went ahead and they got, I'm just trying to think here. If Xbox went ahead and got Ubisoft, right, and those games were going to be exclusive to Xbox, as well as the Bethesda games, just say them as well, and you can only play them on PC and Xbox, Xbox fans be like, oh, wicked, oh my god, we've got Assassin's Creed, we've got, Watch Dogs and Division and, Prince of Persia, all these other things, right? That's from an Xbox standpoint, an Xbox fan standpoint. But then you look at, obviously, PlayStation fans, you look at the industry as a whole, you look at other factors. They will be looking at Xbox, pursing their lips, thinking, we don't want to be anywhere fucking near you. Because all you tend to do is throw money at situations in which doesn't perform any sort of progress. A lot of people, when they bought Bethesda, that's why a lot of people still, by the way, after that interview that Phil Spencer did, people still think, including myself, that those games, some of their games from Bethesda are not going to be exclusive. Because feels like, oh, we're about the gamers. We're about, allowing you to play on any platform you do so, whatever it may be, right? If he puts it on, exclusive Xbox and PC, which again should be the case, right? People will turn around and go to him, oh, but we thought you were about the consumers. What about the gamers? You're contradicting yourself, Phil. You're talking about how you're about the gamers. You're about, allowing gamers the freedom, this and that. So why are you putting them exclusive? And that will be a big thing for him. Like, oh, fuck. It's going to be that case. It is. And I think, you know, Xbox fans are like, oh, but don't trust the, a company, dude, or business, dude. Well, no shit. Obviously. Again, I think Phil's full of shit. I majorly think he's full of shit. I don't believe one fucking dicky bird that he says. I think he's a piece of shit that doesn't really... I mean, I see a lot of people talk about... I mean, I shouldn't really call him a piece of shit. But, like, I see a lot of people, like, go in the sense of, like, you know, oh, he's, like, this next level person of, like, you know, all about the gamer and he knows what you want and this and that, blah, blah, blah. And it's like... You're talking about a guy that literally took over a clusterfuck of a shit show this generation, and anything that he did was going to be gold. Like I said numerous times, a monkey called Doodoo would have fucking did a better job than him.
I like that one.
Any fucking thing could have done a better job than him. I'm sorry, anybody. All that guy does, he goes out on stage, puffs his chest up like a fucking peacock, and says the things on the teleprompter in what you want to do, and then basically reiterates gamers. Like literally, like I'm pretty sure I could get fucking tracksuits on with fucking, you know, hoodie, like what he does, where the fuck he wears, and be like, welcome to Xbox. We are about gamers, and every Xbox fan's like, X don't give it to you, yeah, oh my god, yeah, Xbox, and it's just like years down the line of that generation. Phil, where's the games? Where are the quality games that you're promising? All these studios you've gone and bought, what are they going to be making? It's just like, oh, so you're one of those guys that believe Phil in his bullshit, and you thought him buying the studios was going to be the thing. I'm sorry, no. I remember a couple years ago, what's his name? Ryan McCarthy said this, and one of the things that I rarely agree with, you know, 3 things that he said I agree with, and that is they may have bought studios, they may be bulking studios, but Sony, Nintendo have been at this for 25 more so years, and they've been building these criteria of games for those years, right? They've been building trust, partnerships, you name it. And they have gotten to the point where that quality is shining to its golden ages. You see Santa Monica reaching the golden ages of what they can do. Gorilla, Sucker Punch, you have Naughty Dog. You also have Insomniac. You also have, what's going on? Housemite. You've got even Blue Point that do their little things.
Yep.
Whereas
Rockstar
Xbox,
too.
Whereas Xbox, right? 343 took over Halo. Haven't done fuck all with that series since that game came out. They have had the Halo series longer than Bungie, and they've made a shit show of that series. Think about that. They have had that series, that IP, longer than Bungie, and they have still yet to make a decent fucking Halo game. That's atrocious. Get them the fuck out. Let them make a new IP. Fuck Halo. Bury it alive. Dig its own grave and bury it. Get onto a new game. Gears of War. 1, 2, 3. Great games. Judgment. Full of shit. 4. Okay. 5. Was going somewhere, but after Act 3, shit show. 6 is going into the thing. Rod Ferguson left that studio for what reason, people? Because he knew that game was not going to be good. He knew 6 wasn't going to be living up to the expectations of what the Gears fans say. Regardless of what the Gears fans said after 5, playing it, saying, oh, it's the best in the series. They were either smoking crack or someone gave them a bad batch of fucking bullshit cookies.
I like it.
And that guy, by the way, Rod Ferguson, who wanted to work on Diablo game for years, right? He went to Blizzard, right, when it was in its crisis, when they had the Hong Kong debacle, when they had other factors with Overwatch and also World of Warcraft for that. He went to a company that was in a worse state than Coalition, and he made that jump. Same thing with Bungie. Bungie leaped out of Microsoft's hands to join Activision to make Destiny, right? And again, a few years later, they broke out of that clutch because of CNET giving them money, and now they're their own people. I know I always see, again, I love when Xbox fans say, oh, but they might come back to Xbox. Phil will bring back to Xbox. Oh, it's a new place, it's a different era. I'm saying this right now. Bungie will not even go fucking near, no, will not go or work anywhere fucking near Microsoft with a 10-foot fucking pole ever again. Because they are exactly like Activision. They may not be the money-grabbing fuckers with microtransactions like Activision, but they are fucking similar to Activision. Very similar. And I will put money on that shit. They are so fucking similar. They may not be in microtransactions similar, but they are similar and pump out the same shit year in and year out. And Bungie are going to stay where they are. And again, I mentioned this a few times, Jay, right?
Mm-hmm.
If what is being mentioned, where Herman has gone to Bungie numerous fucking times, and again, he's been cited there, because I've seen it from multiple different people, from Reddit pages, reset errors, have mentioned he's been at Bungie. For some reason, it could be content, it could be to do with exclusive deals with their upcoming IP that they're going to be making, or they are making, or it could be them buying Bungie. And I'm saying this right now, they can buy Bungie, by the way, people, because they actually have money, unlike what Audio Gamer says. I'm sorry, my friend, but they have got billions of dollars, because prior to the Bethesda deal, Jim Ryan was offered or given, by Sony, something called a war chest. A war chest is something, or is lingo, for a big fuck ton of money. We're talking tens of billions of dollars in his pocket at his demand to spend as whatever he will. If they want to buy those things, they can do it. It's just up to them on making those decisions. I said it, but as well, there's a few things that I would like to see Finn do. PlayStation buy and studios that I want PlayStation buy. But then also at the same time, they don't need to. I look at Sony in the sense of, should they buy Bluepoint, right? Bluepoint make great remasters, no shadow of doubt about it. But that's what they're known for. So it's like, do you think, depending on the price of Bluepoint, is it going to be worth the sum of money to buy them if they are only making remasters? Not really, no. If they were to make a new IP, right, an actual game of their own, and it comes out and it's great, it's got great reviews, or it's got, standard reviews in a sense, right? It has potential, and they have potential as a studio. I think Sony will buy them. But then when you look at Housemarque have been with PlayStation for numerous years. They've done some really good stuff. Games where people have overshadowed them in such a way where I think Returnal, I hope, Returnal is that game where people are like, this is what we want to see from you guys. This is what we want to be playing. And they go ahead and they greenlight whatever it may be next. Same for Lucid Games and Wushu Games, who are making Destruction All-Stars. Two good studios making that game. If that game is able to summarize that $70 price tag and be the game what it wants to be, and it is, I'm not going to say it's like Rocket League level, but it's around those sort of similarities, and streamers are playing that game on PlayStation, and they're buying PlayStation 5 to play that game, and it's becoming a big game on Twitch or whatever you want to say, that would be a big thing for them.
Hey, Adam, if I tell you, let me ask you this question. If I show a whole week of gameplay...
Yeah, that's me anyway. And that's why, I thought, well, I think that's my little ramble done. Again, with Xbox, I don't like... I liked Xbox and the original Xbox and the 360 era. But the thing is, with that being said, I could see the BS from them. I knew the cons to that console and the people behind that console running it. And I saw it this generation where people were like, going to Xbox One version, they completely fucked themselves massively. And the reason why they fucked themselves was because they knew they couldn't keep up. They will not keep up with Sony. I've said this before. Sony and them are a completely different criteria. They're on completely different tiers. Sony are on a higher tier than Microsoft. They always will be. They will always will be. Whereas games, the quality of game that you're getting, the aspects of what those things are, which are video game consoles, which is what you're going to be getting at best from PlayStation. And Xbox are basically, what they normally do, and again, I'm not surprised by this, is if they vocalize they're vocal on one thing and it gets thrown in their face, right? They make a brand new sort of idea or fucking thing out of their imagination where they are winning, where PlayStation haven't even entered or whatnot. With, like, for instance, Game Pass, right? Everyone's like, but so, Xbox are doing so good and da-da-da. They literally made up this narrative where, of course, they're doing better because Sony are not even thinking about doing that. But then people go, but PS Now. It's different. Absolutely different. But the thing is, you get people going, PlayStation need to do a Game Pass model. Why is that? Because it's consumer friendly and it's, I would love to be playing all these games for 20, I have to pay $20 and whatnot. First of all, if Sony did that, Game Pass would be a fucking laughing stock, which I don't think Xbox fans would really want to see. Let's be honest, I don't think they really would. They will literally make their fucking thing a laughing stock. And the reason why I say that is because PlayStation Collection, the PlayStation Plus Collection, when it was mentioned, when we saw that PlayStation Plus Collection, people literally stated, right, is this their answer for Game Pass? No, it's not. But that was an early idea to Xbox fans. If PlayStation were to do something like Game Pass, that would be a big fucking problem for Xbox. They wouldn't even be able to hang with PlayStation. But the reason why PlayStation are not doing that is because one thing and one thing only. Their games are of a certain quality in which will sell at $70. And Xbox fans say, $70 is too much money and this and that. We've been paying $60 for games for 2 fucking generations. We've known for those 2 generations that the price of games will go up. I remember PS4 was coming out. People thought the price of games was going up. They were surprised that it didn't happen. Then they come to this part thinking, will it happen now? It's going to definitely happen. And what happened? It did. It went up. And if it means that, again, these games are needing a certain... the budgets of these games are bigger, and they need that budget to make set game, PlayStation are going down the right route. Yes, it means... I'm not going to lie. Yes, it does mean that gamers are going to be a bit more cautious in what they buy now. So maybe they watch more reviews, more previews, more YouTubers before buying it. Not unless it's like a game like God of War, Spider-Man, or from a studio that they love, right? They love their games. Then they'll buy them straight off the rip, right? But if it's like a game like Destruction All-Stars, like a Sackboy or whatnot, where they're a bit, contradicting themselves, maybe they wait for a few weeks or months where it's a bit more cheaper. Maybe wait for it to come on to PlayStation Plus. Maybe they wait for reviews and people they know that are playing those games. That's fine. That's absolutely fine. But again, going back to it, PlayStation know these things. They know that, it's a bit of like an if-but situation. But they know that when God of War 2 comes out, everyone's going to be buying that game. Everyone is. When Horizon Zero Dawn 2 comes out, Horizon Forbidden West comes out, everyone's going to be buying that game. The next Naughty Dog game, the new IP that they're making, when that game drops, everyone's going to buy it. Why? Because it's got the Naughty Dog logo on it. And when you see the Naughty Dog logo on that thing, even though I think it's horseshit, you know that that's going to be a quality game because you see the Naughty Dog logo. And that's what the founders... And again, what I just said was what the founders said in their 20th anniversary. When you see logos, like studio logos at the beginning of a game, you know what you're getting. So when you look at Guerrilla, go from Killzone to Horizon, when you see that G, Hellgas, Guerrilla, symbol, you know what you're getting now. When you see Santa Monica, you think of all the games they made, you know what you're getting. Look at Naughty Dog, Insomniac, Sucker Punch even. Sucker Punch, I'm going to say this right now. The Game Awards, they put out their thing for top 5, right? Which again is normally 5 picks for Game of the Year. I understand that people love Last of Us Part 2. I agree, right? I understand why. I fucking hope to God that Ghost of Tsushima wins the Game Awards Game of the Year. I fucking hope they do.
Hold on. It's time to debate. Why?
No, I don't care, Jay. Naughty Dog have won Game of the Years. They won them. They won them. I want to see Sucker Punch get their desserts. I want to see Sucker Punch get that feeling, like what Santa Monica did, and like what Gorilla did in other awards, but not at the Game Awards, because it got robbed by fucking, what was it, Zelda. But again, Zelda was a good game, not gonna lie. Again, like...
Okay, let's break this down.
Yeah.
If Ghost of Tsushima wins, right, it's better than CyberPunk. If Ghost of Tsushima wins, it means it's better than Halo Infinite. I just sent you a message hold on. An Xbox fan just posted yesterday that Halo Infinite is going to be Game of the Year. So what do you have to say about that?
When was that?
I just sent it to you.
Yeah, I can see what you sent, Jay, but I'm guessing he's saying next year or in 2022.
I don't think so, bro. This is what we were talking about before you got here. The way they have advertised Xbox on TV, they have shown Master Chief on the Taco Bell commercial, on their advertisement, the cinematic one. There are some idiotic casual Xbox fans that literally believe Halo's still coming out this year.
No, it's not.
I know it's not. Most gamers know it's not. But some of them think that it's coming out.
From what I can gather, from what I see from people, a lot of people expect that game is only coming out summertime next year, right? Which again, I do not believe. I just do not believe that for a fucking shadow of a doubt or word. That game's not coming out mid next year. If it does, right? If that game comes out summertime next year, there's a few things. One, that game will not look anything different, much different than what we saw this year. It will not. It will still be somewhat of a choppy game in the sense of the way it looks and how long it is and what it's going to deliver. As we know, Halo Infinite isn't going to have Halo Infinite 1, 2, 3. It's not going to have sequels. It's literally just going to be one fucking game that's going to be serviced because of Game Pass, by the way. Let's put that into perspective. Game Pass is making that game a games as a service game, because that's what it's going to be, right? For longevity. You're getting one fucking Halo game next generation, people. One. Forza. You're getting one Forza game, apart from maybe Horizon from Playground Game. But again, Turn 10, one Forza game. And then maybe they might do a new IP. Right? But again, I'm going off track. With Halo, if that game comes out summertime, it's not going to be good. It's going to look a little bit different, but it's not going to be as good as what people want it to be on the Xbox Series X. It's just not. I'm sorry, I'm just going to be blunt as fuck. It's not. But, like I've said in the past, right, if they delay that game until, for me personally, if they delay the game to 2022, and then they go ahead and they say we're going to drop the support of the Xbox One S, the Xbox One X, the Series, and then obviously keep the Series S and the X, and then delay it until 2022, I might feel obligated to think that that game might be good, because they're delaying it a few years before they bring it out. That gives me confidence, a little bit. If they bring that game out next year, whether it's in the summer, winter, which again I think that game's coming out next year in the fall, right? Because again, they've, not Bungie, 343 have clarified they're still bringing it out for the Xbox Series, the Xbox Series S, X, Xbox One S, and Xbox One X, right? They are literally solid on that. That being the case, that game is not going to look anything different, because you're developing for 4 systems, 5 if you count PC, right? That is a problem for engineers. That is an engineer's nightmare, having to go through countless different fucking consoles to make sure it's the best of, it's the best in, that version, that version. And again, I'll reiterate like I said earlier, right? And this is, I'm not being sarcastic, but hear me out. They have had the Halo series longer than Bungie, and they are still pumping shit. That is all.
It's true.
I'm done.
It's true.
I'm sorry, bro. I want Halo to be good. I love Halo 1, 2, 3, Reach, ODST. I love those games. I adore them. But 4 and 5 was so fucking bad. Visually, and the way they played were good, right? The movement, the visuals, they were cool, whatever they were. But then you look at Halo and think you're like, oh, shit. And then you get Digital Foundry go, oh, it's because they're in shadows. The lighting's not there and blah-de-blah-de-blah. It's like, shut the fuck up, Alex Battaglia. Shut the fuck up, Digital Foundry. You don't know what you're saying. And if you don't believe me, go look at people on Reset Era, developers on Reset Era, forums, let alone recently Jan Cherno that did a video on Dirt 5. An ex-EA developer worked on Dice Engine, Frostbite, and worked on mobile games. Yes, we also worked with, worked on games like Need for Speeds and also Battlefield games on console. And even he calls out Digital Foundry saying they do not know what the fuck they're saying from a technical standpoint because they don't. They're not developers. They do not know shit. And this week, they got called out for their bullshit. Like, loads of people called them out. I saw fucking, what's his name? John gets a point where he had to whip out fucking whiskey to drink away, think about drinking away his problems because of J-Dub and fucking PlayStation fans slating him for the bullshit that they were talking about. And the problem is, the thing is, Jack, it wasn't even his problem. It wasn't his fault. It was Battaglia and fucking Richard Linneman, what the fuck his name is. Was it? That's John Linneman. Richard Fuckwit, the old guy with the glasses.
Yeah. I know.
Are fucking idiots. But John, I have major respect for John as a person at Digital Foundry. I do not like Richard. I think he's a fucking troll, and I think Alex Battaglia doesn't know a fucking word that he says when it comes to ray tracing. And I know why. And again, the reason why I say that is because he's being called out by numerous fucking developers about ray tracing, especially Insomniac. Insomniac have actually went at him in fucking forums, stating to him, you do not know what the fuck you are saying. And it was to do with his video on Spider-Man Miles Morales. Because he said about their ray tracing, something about it being dodgy, whatever it was. And they said, well, you don't know shit. Because clearly, all you can do is talk. You can talk the talk, but you can't walk the walk. You're just a guy that can learn a few things, talk about a few things, but you don't know jack shit in the extent of it. You just don't. Again, like, what's this? Rallo, God, Bill Gates wanted to cut the OG Xbox off. I remember hearing that. I mean, to be honest, Bill Gates, I mean, if I'm not correct, Bill Gates has left, hasn't he? He stepped down as CEO, right?
He's been stepped down. This is years ago.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, he did. Yeah,
He's been stepped down. I'm surprised he stepped down.
I mean, that's the other thing as well. Again, this is nothing to do with Xbox, even though Microsoft owned Xbox. But when you have him step down, and he had the right reason for stepping down. It wasn't to do with Xbox. I'm not going to say that. But he stepped down for a reason. But then there is external reasons for that. I wouldn't be surprised if that was the case. Frostbite Slash with £5 said, happy late birthday, Jay. Hope you had a good one, bro. Boom.
Wait up. Oh, that's Frostbite. Okay. Frostbite. What's going on?
Yeah. Sorry for rambling. I know I do this a lot. When it comes to Xbox fans, right? If they give me a reason...
Thanks, man.
Where I can agree with them, I will agree with them. I will respect them. I will do whatever it is, right? Because again, there are times where I agree with Xbox fans, where I do agree with Xbox. But when I see stupidity like that, where, you know, not being rude to the audio gamer guy, but they make more money than what they do in a day, and the aspect of they are treating this as a tablet and this and that. It's kind of the sense of if that is the case, then why make an Xbox Series X and S when you could they literally could make a dongle, right, or a small little box which you can plug into your TV, and it will act like an Amazon Prime stick or like a Netflix sort of thing. But again, because they're making this xCloud thing, they're making a big deal of it, and xCloud is looking very good. It's looking very promising. So why would you make two consoles, spend that much money when you have, very much, not reliability, but you have confidence in the cloud-based thing? I mean, literally, you have more confidence in what Google have right now. And again, Google, they will sort themselves out eventually. Same thing with Amazon. They brought their one out, right? They will sort themselves out. When they do, Xbox have got to go hand in hand against them. Because Amazon and Google are with Microsoft in this manner of money. And they have a fuck ton of money. And to be honest, I wish that PlayStation went with Google servers instead of Azure servers, because that's the reason why this update, the recent update, as well as the giving us new avatars and making our message and party chats like Discord, because that's what they're technically doing. They're giving fans the Discord treatment, but in their own version, by the way. That's what they've gone and done. The people have completely off-minded that. That is what we've gotten now. We're PlayStation have given you a Discord sort of thing where you can create parties and then you can join in those parties. And then you have your singularity message boards with people. But anyway, like I'm saying, when they did the update, they were transferring their servers to Azure servers on that day. Sony are switching over to Azure. Which, again, nobody would be talking about because, again, they don't know these sort of things. Whereas moi do. Again, they made a deal with Microsoft. And again, I don't know how the Azure servers are going to go for PlayStation, but if it turns out that PlayStation are going to be having problems, networks, like the PS Plus or PSN going down quite a fair amount of times, I hope that PlayStation step away from Microsoft, because that's what you don't want. You do not want to be experiencing what Microsoft have been experiencing this whole generation, where their servers have been going down for stupid fucking reasons.
All I'm gonna say, bro, just in a casual sense, because I don't really understand all the business dealings of Sony and Microsoft with the Azure, but just me, right? Just a regular PlayStation gamer, I would not have done that. I would have went with Google. I would have paid however much they want, because I don't want any sabotage. I don't know if they would. I know they do, but that and any future sabotage, whether people think Xbox is petty or not, I don't want that. I could see, if they have the power to sabotage PlayStation when on the day the servers are supposed to go up on November 12th and the servers aren't ready. Look, all I'm going to say right now, bro, I hope that PlayStation has a backup plan, talk to Google or whatever, but don't team up with Xbox anymore or Microsoft. Fuck up. Don't team up with Microsoft anymore. Like, you don't need them. You don't need their servers.
I understand why they went with Microsoft, because, again, they're both in the console cycle. And, again, when it comes to Google, like, it's a case of they just entered the console cycle, right? Whereas Xbox have been around for a few years, right? So I think they've gone with Microsoft because they want to team up in the sense of, again, like I've said in the past, Google and Amazon are going to be the big threats. Later on down the line, they will be the big threats. I'm not going to lie.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not saying they're going to be the big threats in, games, like the games they're delivering, but I'm talking about the services, the things, whether they're going to be bringing out later on down the line. Those are going to be like crazy things. And it's also a sense of you're thinking about companies that have a fuck ton of money behind them that will do whatever it takes to, get you in with Stadia or whatever it is with Google later on down the line, or whether it is whatever Amazon's thing is, and what they will have in the future. So when it comes to PlayStation, I've said this in the past. PlayStation really they want to like not get rid of Microsoft or Xbox, but they want to get them on their side, where basically it's like PlayStation and Xbox as a cohesive thing against those two big fucking giants and whoever else comes along. And it makes sense.
Let's be honest. Be honest. Amazon has tons of money. The Stadia could fail every fucking year going into the following generation, and they still have a Stadia out because they have the money to sustain a failure. But if they do make another system, maybe it'll be better. But as far as Stadia is concerned, no. No. Nope. Nobody knows.
Anyway, that's enough of Xbox.
Yeah, let's talk about Marvel Avengers, another game as a service I try my hardest to love because I love comic books and I love movies based on these characters. And it's just very disappointing that the Kate Bishop got delayed. The next generation enhancement got delayed until next year. It's just, do you feel the way I feel about games as a service, that you wish it didn't exist anymore because it makes a good game bad?
So the way I look at games as a service, right, is that they will, if they come out the same way as Destiny and Avengers do, I think. So, for instance, how do I put this? When you sell a game at like a full price game, right? Like a games as a service game at full price, and the content is, again, quite slim, let's just say, right? At the beginning. But you look at that game 2 years or a year later, it is the game that it's supposed to be, right? It's kind of hard, right? And for me, I do think that, like for instance with Destiny, right? I bought that game at launch. It wasn't a great game. It was it lacked content. It was a good game, but it lacked content. That's what I should say. Give that game a year later, and they bring out the Taken King DLC. That was when Destiny became this big fucking thing. Like, it was a great fucking game. It had the legs. It had everything you wanted Destiny to be. The problem is, you could have did two things, right? And I think this is where I feel like a game like Hades, which is made by Supergiant Games, very great game, by the way, I would have taken their approach, which is, if you're making a games as a service, right, you sell that game at a discounted price. Or you sell it at the price that you want it to, but you call it early access to let people know that it's not a complete game. You're buying into a game that isn't quite there, basically. And then a year later, they basically say, all right, the game is, coming out of early access, is a full game, whatever it may be, and then they do whatever it is. Like Hades. Hades was in early access for a year on PC, and then this year it got announced for Nintendo Switch, and then they came out and said, we're out of early access. And that game right now has been played by numerous people, loving that game because it is a great fucking game. And I cannot wait for it to come out on the PS4 and the PS5, because I'm definitely going to be getting that game. Definitely be playing that game. But again, going back to Avengers and Destiny, I think games as a service games should be taking up that approach where they do early access first, or they sell it as a cheaper game. So let's just say, like, if it's $70 odd, maybe they do like at $40 or maybe $30. And then when it comes out of early access, when they've got the content behind them, whatever, they then charge as a full price game, because there will be additional things added onto that. I think that's what they got to do.
Speaking of full price games, we should talk about Assassin's Creed not looking so good compared to another game that it was compared to a couple months ago anyway, and that would be Ghost of Tsushima. But a lot of people are saying Assassin's Creed isn't the next generation Assassin's Creed that people expect. And not the evolution. They expected the controls to be better, the animations to be better, the lip sync to be better. And it just doesn't. It seems that if you would compare it to any other game that's comparable to Assassin's Creed, which would have to be Ghost of Tsushima, it's not on that level. after all the hype. I just want to know what you think of it, because I know you respect Ubisoft a lot for what they do. So I want to know what your thoughts are.
I will say this now, just to say what you just mentioned there. I respect Ubisoft, used to anyway, as a whole. This generation, the only time I respect Ubisoft is when they brought out Division 1 and 2. That's it. That is this year. That's my favorite games they've brought out this generation. Maybe Far Cry, right? I would say not 4. Well, I don't know. Like 4 was a good game. 5 was a bit yeah. I mean, 6 looks really good. I hope that game's gonna be good. But again, I've declined again. My sort of Ubisoft fandom, in a sense, right, is mainly towards Division, because Division 1 and 2 were great games. Again, another game that started off slow, but you play it now, is so good. Division 2 came out, was really good, what it delivered on, and it's even better now. And I look at Assassin's Creed Valhalla, and prior to the previews of that, right, you know, way back when they announced it, I saw Xbox fans say, "Oh, it's gonna be amazing! Look how good this game looks!" And obviously, had their marketing with it and all that mumbo jumbo shit. The fact of the matter is, that game is a cross-gen game. It's a cross-gen game. It's a third-party cross-gen game, and it was never going to be good, look good, or whatever it may be. All right, I've seen the previews. Like, I was talking to Briggs about this yesterday. I've seen the previews. It's a work in progress build. That's what it says. I hope. I mean, again, I would expect that is not the final build, because if that game comes out looking like that, where the lip syncs off, the animations are off, the sound design is really bad, like the atmosphere around the characters and this, you know, the like sort of the scenes where it's kind of just, it just feels really odd and cringy, is off. That game should not be coming out. That game is not ready. Any developer will tell you that. When they see that, they'll be like, that game is not ready. They should be delaying that game until whatever it may be. That's why I feel like, because again, I saw the previews and I saw the deep dive, right? The trailer. Mm-hmm. The deep dive trailer is a PC version of that game, by the way. Not an Xbox version where Xbox fans think it is. That is not Xbox whatsoever. That is a PC build of Valhalla with marking on Xbox, you know, from beginning to end. That game looks really fucking good in that trailer. It looks so good. And I don't think they will be promoting that game in that way and then showing a massive downgrade. So I'm hoping it's just an old preview build that they showed and it's actually better than what we're seeing. Hopefully. If it's not, and it is like that, then that game is not ready. That game is not done. They shouldn't be bringing it out whatsoever. It's that Black Flag. Black Flag is a good example of this. PS3 to PS4. Was there much of a difference? Not really, no. Same thing will be happening with Valhalla. Will there be a difference between Valhalla on the PS3, PS4, or PS5? Not really, no. I'm just gonna say it. You're not gonna get a next-gen Assassin's Creed game until 2 years. They normally take a break. So next year they're going to take a break, and then in 2022 they'll be bringing out the next Assassin's Creed game, which will most likely would be set in Japan. I guarantee you that. They most likely will do it. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, based on my assumption of that, Jay, I saw the things. It looks terrible. It looks bad on the previews. It looks terrible, and it sucks. But seeing Xbox fans compare that game to, like, you know, Ghost, which is fucking insane, let alone that, what's his name, that Astel guy, whatever his name is, that French Xbox dude, say it's better than God of War. Clearly the guy's trying to get a reaction to, you know, from PlayStation fans, it's clear. But again, I wouldn't be surprised if he was trying to actually be truthful about that. And in that case, you're a fucking idiot. There's no way that game looks better than fucking God of War. I mean, well, I would say it may be close to God of War, but that's a next-gen console game if you want to throw that in there. But again, for me, no, it's not. It's nowhere fucking close. If it looks visually a little bit better, okay, cool. But as an overall game, based on story, gameplay, combat, all the bits and bobs you're doing, no. Just no. Ubisoft games are like Ubisoft games are like checklists, right? If you're a person that has OCD and likes to check things off when you're playing games, right? You don't have to concentrate so much. You like those games, right? It's like Division. When I played Division, it was like, okay, done this mission, tick, 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 tick. And then when you complete the game and you're doing the end game stuff, your weeklies, your dailies, oh, okay, yeah, done that, tick. Games as a service is basically for OCD people, where every Tuesday they reset the things, you do your dailies, do your weeklies. It's like a job, basically. It's like a meaningless job where eventually you kind of snap out of it because there's other games coming around. Like for me, right, I started playing Genshin. And I was like, that's a games as a service sort of game, but it's a free-to-play game. And I had Crash Bandicoot, I had Need for Speed Payback, Ghost was coming out, and I was like, I can't be playing this game, wasting my time on this. I'm not saying it's a bad game or I hate this game. I have to play those other games instead. It's like if I was playing Warframe, it'll be the same thing, or Destiny or whatever. I'll have to try and pull myself away from those games because that's what they do, games as a service. They literally keep you grinding as if it's like a fucking 9-to-5 job.
Exactly. I hate that shit, man. I hate that shit. And then when you don't, and you know what game is a game as a service that I wanted to play before I got lost? Monster Hunter. Monster Hunter.
I mean,
Monster Hunter. And look, it's not a bad one though. It's not a bad one. It's a really, really good one. But it does have a lot of shit, and if you miss like a month or something, you're gonna be lost. Yeah.
It's good. I mean, those games are very good for casuals. It's like a Call of Duty game, right? When you play Call of Duty, it's easy to come in from work, have some dinner, and then jump on your console, play a few games of Call of Duty or Battlefield or like some sort of game like that, and then be like, okay, I'm off to bed. Whereas if you play like a game like CyberPunk, you've got to at least spend like 5 hours in that game, right, to feel like you justified your reasoning of playing that game for that night, right? Or like and this isn't just Cyberpunk, this is any story narrative game, like God of War or Spider-Man. Like, I'm not gonna play Spider-Man for like an hour and be like, okay, I spent an hour on Spider-Man, let's go and play an hour of God of War now. It's like, no, I'm gonna play like 5, 6, 7, 8 hours of God of War, Spider-Man, because like I want to be like because knowing me, I want to get invested. I want that huge summary. Makes sense. But obviously games as a service games or like games like Call of Duty, they're great for people that have day jobs that just want to relax, play those games. Like, yeah, you know what? I've ranked up a few ranks on Call of Duty. I've got some nice guns. I've got some recoil attachments, some camos, whatever it may be. Yeah, all right, gonna go to bed, wake up next day and be like, yeah, all right, let's go and go work, come back home, maybe play some, I don't know, Battlefield or FIFA or whatnot, Yeah. It's like my stance on open world games. Like, I can't play 2 open world games at the same time. I think that's the most stupidest thing somebody can ever do. Because I don't know how the fuck you can do that. Like, if I was playing Cyberpunk 2077 and Witcher 3 at the same time, that to me sounds fucking insane. Like, why would I do that? Like, that's just weird to me, I'd rather spend the vast majority of my time completing Cyberpunk, getting invested in that, and then, completing that game, and then doing all the externals, and then jumping on Witcher 3 or whatever game it may be. Like, I just can't see it, man. I can't do that, bro. Yeah. But anyway, Adam,
I wanted to talk to you about, this is another thing I wanted to talk to you about, and I talked to you about Yakuza before. Now knowing at launch it will not be on Game Pass, can we pretty much confirm the game will fail financially on Xbox? Outside of the contract money. This is Yakuza Like a Dragon. Will not be on Game Pass at launch.
It will fail, yes.
Yes. Okay.
So, I mean, that isn't That isn't even a fucking question, nor like a hard one. That game will not be selling on Xbox. Maybe not unless you want to get it on the next gen platform, right? Which again is on the Xbox day one. But with PlayStation, you're gonna have to wait until what is it, next year?
Yeah.
Well, man, let me just ask someone. Lisa Orenstein. You can invest in both games just as much as you would invest in 2 FPS. Again, Lisa, just to go off what you're saying here. I mean, again, this is me, right? This is me from a personal standpoint. Me personally, I can't do it, like, because when I play video games, right? When I play games, like especially games like Witcher or like an Elder Scrolls. Well, I don't play Elder Scrolls, but like a Witcher or a CyberPunk, right? I can't do that because it gets to the point where, like, if I'm playing like CyberPunk and I play like 8 hours and I'm on this quest line, it's so interesting, it's so, like, it's so lavish and whatever, right? I can't then go on and play like a Witcher or like another open world game and, sort of put that in the back of my mind because I want to see how that plays out. And I want to be able to think about that instead of having to play whatever it is and then go on to Witcher or whatnot, and then get that sort of story quest going and be like, go back to Cyberpunk and be like, what the fuck just happened in this game? Like, it's just me. I'm not saying every game. I'm just saying myself personally. When game developers have been talking about how their games have been doing well ever since they put them on Game Pass. What's it? LMFAO. When game developers have been talking about how their games have been doing well ever since Game Pass, they've been putting on Game Pass. I mean, again, I don't know what. Is this going against Game Pass or is this going towards Game Pass? I juggled Borderlands, Witcher 3, Skyrim, and Witcher 2. That's fine, Lisa. That's absolutely fine. That's you. But for me, again, I'm just saying, me personally, I just can't do it. If you can, bravo. But like for me, I just can't see anybody doing that. But if you are one of those people that can, fair dues. But I mean, yeah, your question about the games. Well, I mean, are you? What is it? Is this like again against Game Pass? Merely just opens up their games to a larger audience. Yeah, I mean, again, that's what Game Pass is for, right? It's there. Here's the thing about Game Pass, right? Game Pass is beneficial to games that don't necessarily get the eyes on it, right? So, for instance, you look at indie games, right? And you look at independent games, indie games, those sort of things, smaller games, or maybe even AAA games that don't get the traction they deserve, right? That's what Game Pass is for. It gets you through, gets you through the door and gets you playing that game for as many months as you can before it gets taken off Game Pass, because that actually happens, right? Games get put on, they get put off. But when it comes to like the big AAA games, like like a Witcher 3 or whatnot, most people would have already bought Witcher, right? Maybe they deleted it, maybe they got rid of it, but then they have it on Game Pass. But then again, that's been taken off of Game Pass, so it's gone. So you look at games like Red Dead Redemption, right? They put that on there for since May, and they took it off in September. Like most people have already got that game, but like again, people could easily play Red Dead Redemption 2 in that course of time and complete it and have fun with it. But again, I feel like, again, I go back to it. Indie games benefit, the smaller games and indie games, I benefit from that service more because they get the exposure, they get the light that they deserve. Whereas, games like, I'm going to list off their own games, which again really makes it redundant, but like Halo and Gears and I'll even throw in Ori, right? Ori 1 and 2. If those games were not on Game Pass, right, no one would have bought them. No one would have discovered them apart from reviewers that are reviewing it, right? But the fact that those games were on Game Pass, loads of people got into playing Ori, me included. I loved Ori. And that's one of my Game of the Years, like one of my nominations for Game of the Year for the time being. But, again, like that benefited them for that purpose, right? But, a game like Gears of War, if that wasn't on Game Pass, people would have bought Gears. They would have. But again, because they're on Game Pass, they got the, 3 million users via Game Pass. Then these, over 60-odd thousand people that bought the game outright. Yeah. I mean, again, I think to answer your, what you're mentioning, Game Pass is not, I mean, for me personally, Game Pass is for the smaller games, the smaller studios, over games like Yakuza Like a Dragon, which again, I'm not surprised it's not on Game Pass because they obviously want that to,
Okay, so this is what I was saying, right? Xbox fans are bragging, they were bragging that the game looked better, right? Or it was going to run better because Xbox Series X is a beast, right?
Actually, Steam sells a lot there. I mean, again, Steam hasn't got Game Pass, but again, you buy games for cheap on Steam, let alone the fucking sales that they do. So they don't really need a Game Pass because you can buy games $1, from $1 to $1, $10, something like that. They have found a huge following on Steam. What's that?
You talking about Yakuza?
Oh yeah. I found it funny because as soon as she said that, I was like, I'm guessing she's gonna say Sea of Thieves. Now, again, to answer your question, Lisa, on the Sea of Thieves thing, the reason why people bought Sea of Thieves on Steam, as well as it being cheap, was also because no one liked playing Sea of Thieves on the Windows launcher, the Microsoft Store launcher thing, because it's just bad. No one likes the Windows Microsoft launcher. But with Steam, most PC fans love using Steam launcher, right? Because it's so easy and doable and you can get stuff done quickly. I've spoken to so many people that have bought Sea of Thieves on Steam because of that notion. It is hysterically funny. That's the thing that got them to buy it on Steam.
So, okay, we go back to all the Xbox fans bragging, hey, haha, we got Yakuza. Very similar what happened with Final Fantasy 13 last gen. Very similar what happened this gen with Final Fantasy 15, right? And even Metal Gear Solid 5. Every last one of those games failed on the Xbox system. When it came to the Xbox fans going out to buy them, let's just say the first week, maybe even the first month. If you want to say the first year, that's cool too. Why even brag if you weren't 100% sure every single game was going on Game Pass in order to escape the topic that you don't buy games? The topic that you don't buy games will always be there because you depend on Game Pass. Most of these idiots depend on Game Pass so much to play their games, and if a game isn't on Game Pass, they're not going to pay the $60 to $70. So they're not going to buy Yakuza. I don't know how Assassin's Creed's going to do, but that's a game that they like to buy. Need for Speed, Call of Duty, sports games. These are the casual games that do very well on Xbox.
Yeah.
But you have CyberPunk. And if we remember what happened with Witcher 3, even if it was a third installment that most PlayStation gamers didn't have experience in, we paid for the game more than they did. And the second was PC. Then the second went to first place, and we went to second place. But Xbox was always in third place until it came out on the Switch, and I think Xbox dropped down all the way to fourth place as far as how many people were buying Witcher. Cyberpunk will not be on Game Pass. That means Xbox fans are going to have to shell out $60 to buy that game. This is going to be a reoccurring topic that they don't buy their games and they're not contributing to the gaming industry staying afloat. And Game Pass isn't contributing. Because if a game isn't on Game Pass, it's not helping Microsoft. And if
Microsoft, way Game Pass works is, Microsoft will pay X amount of money for whatever game it is for whatever month it is, right? So they're technically paying the developers, whoever it is, the money that they think they will make from Xbox fans or whoever buys that game on that platform, right? So let's just say, like Assassin's Creed, right? Valhalla, let's just say that, right? Comes out and it's like, oh yeah, we're going to put on Game Pass for let's say 3 months, right? Ubisoft come out and they say, all right, we want, let's say let's say that they want like 500 million, right, for those 3 months. Let's just say that, or maybe even more than that, right? Xbox will then pay them the 500 million. They will put it on Game Pass for 3 months. After that, it's gone, right? That's it. Obviously, that's enough time for most Xbox fans to download that game, play that game, because again, it's 3 months. I'm pretty sure you're not going to take that long to, complete Assassin's Creed Valhalla. It's not that long of a game, especially if you're doing the main story arc. But again, like I'm saying, and again, like say, the company that they're giving the money to will again, like, awesome. We've got our money's worth, whatever it is from an Xbox standpoint. But then you look at if it's getting, obviously it's getting sold, or obviously it'll probably be on, well, depending on if they do put it on Game Pass PC, because it's separate, isn't it? Game Pass PC and Game Pass console.
Yeah.
Then they'll have to probably give them more money. If it's on Game Pass on PC and console, right, or Xbox, they will have to pay them nearly $1 billion, like near close to $1 billion. I'm not going to lie to you. They will have to pay a higher summary for those 3 months. That's what they'll have to do. But, fuck, let me just get rid of that. So, again, I lost my train of thought there, fuck. Fuck. So let me just backtrack here. So, Xbox give them the money, Ubisoft, they put their, Valhalla on there for 3 months, right? Let's just say, like I said, just specifying on Xbox as a console. So they give them 500 million for the 3 months. It's on Xbox Series X, S, Xbox One S, and Xbox One. If you have an Xbox console, you get it on Game Pass. And then when it comes to PC, you have to buy it. On PlayStation, you have to buy it. And if it was on Switch, let's just say, you have to buy it for full price. And again, they will get the money that they will have to get from those consoles. Whereas with Xbox, they will have to give them whatever they think is a good summary of money for them that they were going to make from a console standpoint on the Xbox. In which after that, like I said, when it goes off Game Pass, then people have to buy that game outright for $70, which again, they're going to have to do right now.
So you're spoiling the Xbox fans. And some games aren't going to Game Pass. We talked about CD Projekt Red. They would lose a lot of money if a game goes to Game Pass, especially if they allow Microsoft to buy to send them a cheap contract. So that wouldn't even be on the table. It would be a pretty expensive contract. That would be billions of dollars just to get the game on Game Pass for a few months.
Yeah.
So
it depends as well. It depends on the studio as well. Because there have been studios that have declined money from Microsoft to put their games on Game Pass, because they know that game is going to sell a lot of units. Again, I wouldn't be surprised if, again, they have asked, because CyberPunk, CD Projekt Red came out and said that it's not going to Game Pass when there was rumors starting that it was going to go to Game Pass, right? And again, they actually probably did approach CD Projekt Red to put that on Game Pass for maybe a few months, and they said no, because we know that game's going to sell on the Xbox as well as the PC and the PlayStation. So, no, sorry, but you're going to have to buy it as a full-price game. Which makes sense. It makes perfect sense. I just don't buy a game unless I enjoy it. Lisa, real quick, you mentioned every game I play on Game Pass, I did buy it. That is if I like it. I just want to ask you a quick question. Have you bought any Xbox games, like an Ori, or like a Halo or Gears? Have you bought those games, or have you, again, just subscribed to Game Pass? Because, again, those things are not going off of Game Pass. So you can play them as long as you want, because those things will not be going off Game Pass whatsoever. I just want to ask you that question. If you've got any Xbox studio games, if you bought them. If you have, then, no, cool. I know you said Sea of Thieves, but what other ones? I would like to ask that. I would like to know. Because I think the thing is, when it comes to Xbox games on Game Pass, there's no reason for buying their games, or there's no reason for buying Xbox Game Studio games if you're getting Game Pass, because those games will not leave Game Pass because they're a part of Xbox Game Studio, so it makes sense. But like when you look at smaller games or third-party games, or like a Red Dead Redemption or GTA, again, those will go off the service eventually. Which again, if you like them, like she's mentioning, you will buy those games. It's like Blockbusters, but it's like a long rental thing, sort of, aspect. Yeah, I have. All right, cool. I mean, again, apart from Sea of Thieves, could you name a game that's an Xbox Game Studio game that you've bought? or that you've played on Game Pass, but you've also bought, apart from Sea of Thieves. Because again, I know a few people have done that. But again, the reason why I've done it is because they want to support the developers. I bought Master Chief Collection and Forza series, as well as past Xbox games. I generally buy all my games, whether it goes on Game Pass or not. All right, cool, awesome. Thanks for asking. Answering. All right, cool. I just don't buy them at launch till again. Yeah, that's see what she just said there, people. Is yeah. So again, I just don't buy them at launch till I see how it is. Like I said earlier on, right, with game prices going up, there are going to be a significant amount of people that are going to be like Lisa here, where again they do not buy games day one, not unless it's a game that you know you're going to like. Like you know you're gonna like, which again it makes sense. But yeah, all right, cool. Thanks, Lisa. Thanks for answering that. That's great. Yeah, but yeah, I mean, yeah.
Who the fuck
so
is that?
again, I apologize for rambling. Again, I know I ramble. I know I take over the podcast.
No. This is actually the best part when you get to fucking talk. So look,
Yeah,
bro. All I'm gonna say right now. I'm gonna try to hit out the Burger King, but it's not guaranteed I'm gonna fucking win anything. But I'm gonna try. So all I'm gonna say is we about to end this shit, and then when I come back, I'm either going to finish up Food Wars, the anime on Netflix, or I'm going to either get on Avengers and try to finish the story and just power through, or I'll be on Ghost. Tomorrow, I'm probably going to be on Ghost, so if anybody has Ghost of Tsushima and started a multiplayer, I'll be dragging along with you guys until I get up to the level that you guys are at. But I'm trying to play the fuck out of that. I'm not bad at Ghost, but it is going to be a pretty fun. It's a fun multiplayer. I've been hearing nothing but good things about it, including the connectivity. There's not as many problems as you thought it would be. So PlayStation's been ironing that multiplayer shit out. Again, knowing that they have a lot of people in their fucking community, they're going to have to make sure those servers are very strong. So that's one thing that I'm grateful for. So that's pretty much it. Obviously, we have a lot of stuff to talk about through the week. There's no predictions, but if we want to go around in a circle, I guess we can make predictions. I'm gonna start first. Destruction All Stars. I'm gonna fucking start first. Destruction All Stars. We have to see something Destruction All Stars related.
No, sorry, go ahead. Yeah,
I'm done. That's my prediction. That's my main prediction for this week.
Yeah, actually, no, fuck it. I'm not going to cut this in. Yeah, so Lisa, I was going to type in saying thank you for answering. I deleted my message because I fucking ended. I didn't mean to end it. I was just going to say thank you, Lisa, for answering that question. Also, again, like you with Game Pass that you're mentioning, I'm like you. Like, again, I said, like, I played Ori, I played Battletoads, because they were games I wanted to dabble with, but I didn't really, again, I used my brother's Xbox and his Game Pass because he's got Game Pass on his Xbox. I used it, and again, I loved Ori Blind Forest. I liked Will-O-Wisp, really good games. If I had the money, I would definitely be buying those games. With recently Cuphead being released on PlayStation 4, I've heard from people that I know people that are at Moon Studios that they're dabbling with PS5 dev kits, like PS4. I don't know if this is to do with their new IP, or this is to do with them trying to port over Ori 1 and 2 to the PlayStation. But if that does happen, Ori 1 and 2 goes over to PlayStation, I will be definitely getting those two games, because those games are worth buying. Same thing with Hades. Hades is another game which I've been watching streamers play, people that own Nintendo Switches. My brother being one of them has been playing Hades. And again, this is from a company that I would love to see PlayStation acquire. Supergiant Games are really fucking good. They've made Bastion, Transistor, Pyre, and obviously Hades. They have made some incredible games. Small studio, but they do such a bang-up job. But yeah, like, hopefully, I'm keeping my fingers crossed that Ori 1 and 2 comes to PlayStation. Because, again, Microsoft does not own Ori as an IP or Moon Studios. So, gives me a bit of belief. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Especially with how Microsoft is doing installation. So, yeah, that's true. I mean, to me, it's too early. I mean, it is too early to predict this generation, but I mean, based on the way PlayStation are coming out with their launch titles, let alone what you've got in the first, I would say, half of the next year, let alone, you know, what you would think they have down the line, they have a pretty strong lineup of
Pharaoh12 just subscribed.
Games.
Thank you for subscribing, man.
Yeah. They've got a very strong first-party lineup of games, whereas Xbox have got a lot of studios that they've gone and bought, but it's now time for Xbox to stop buying studios and to actually put those studios in motion and, you know, justify, you know, their purchases, let alone how good they are. Like, you know, I want to see initiative on what they do because they have a lot of talent from Sony Studios, which, again, aren't like big names, but they are names nonetheless from Sony Studios that I hope that they, again, like, they make a good game. Or for me personally, I hope they make a brand new IP. I heard that it's going to be like Perfect Dark, which I wouldn't mind, but I would rather see them do a new IP. I don't know what it is with Xbox and like doing old existing IPs. I want them to do new IPs. Get initiative to make a brand new game. Like, you built the studio from the ground up with some really good talent. Let them do like a brand new IP. Like, let them go out the gate with that sort of situation. I don't know why they do that. Yep, I think Lisa just said I agree. I agree. You know, Sony are doing the traditional thing. Microsoft are more about services.
Okay.
You know, smaller things.
We got a super chat by True Woody. $5 super chat. Let's be real. Sucker Punch didn't have to give a free multiplayer plus no microtransactions. Sucker Punch is coming up there with Naughty Dog, and it's good. Good. I mean, agree. It is a free multiplayer. You know, there's optional microtransactions for Uncharted 4, but you don't have to use them ever. And as far as Ghost, there's no optional microtransactions. There's absolutely none. You earn everything in the game through skill. And again, it's always going to be like this, True Witty. It was like this last gen. Remember, last gen on the PS3, you didn't have to pay for online, but PlayStation invested in tons of multiplayer-focused video games. Whether you're talking about Resistance 1 and 2 multiplayer, including 3, you're talking about Killzone 2 and 3 multiplayer, you're talking about Warhawk and Starhawk, MAG, SOCOM, you know, the first SOCOM game was released on PS3, and then the other one that was released, SOCOM 4. I mean, there are tons of games. White Knight Chronicles 1 and 2 online, 4-player co-op, free multiplayer. PlayStation Home, which was a completely multiplayer social experiment, and it was amazing. Free online, but tons of multiplayer-focused games, co-op and competitive. And if PlayStation, again, I'm begging you guys, if PlayStation goes back through this, you have to support them. That's all I'm hoping that you guys do. Just please support them. They're doing it based off of the feedback they've gotten from you guys. So if you want to know why we have a Destruction All-Stars, it's because everybody's been asking for multiplayer. It is a multiplayer game. Might not be the exact one you want right now, but they have to test the waters to see if you guys are going to want these or play multiplayer games next gen. If you're not, they might not give you a lot of multiplayer games. So this first wave of multiplayer-focused games is very important. Demon Souls, Sackboy, Destruction All-Stars, Godfall. These are all multiplayer-focused games. They have multiplayer elements. You have to support these games. I'm hoping this week we can get Destruction All-Stars information, more information on the Create menu and how that's going to work. I want to see what our accounts are going to look like on the PS5. I want to see how our friend sections are going to look like on the PS5. I want to see if we're going to have any some media apps that would focus on video chatting. These are things that I want to know and see through this week. Other than that, that's it for me. That's the only thing that I personally want to see. I could add in create a character mode for Demon Souls somewhere, maybe posted by PlayStation Access somewhere in the next 3 or 4 weeks. We'll see. We will see. Outside of that, that's pretty much it. I mean, Adam, you have any predictions for anything you might want to see or you think we will see this week? We're getting down to the wire. Hello? No? Okay. Briggs.
Oh, shut.
What's going on? Do you have any predictions about what we might see or what you want to see this week?
I do want to see Destruction All-Stars. I really hope they show some more of that. I think that's the last game that needs to be shown because we've seen enough of Godfall. We've seen enough of Spider-Man. We've seen enough of Sackboy. We've seen enough of Demon Souls, I'm pretty sure. But for Destruction All-Stars, we definitely need to see more from that game. We have to. Because that's one of the last games that we haven't seen like a good gameplay demonstration of yet. So I really hope that they show that this week, and I think we might see some of the UI, some of the stuff that they left out. But apart from that, I don't really see anything else coming this week, honestly. Maybe a new PlayStation commercial could happen.
Oh, yeah. We did hear something about PlayStation commercials that have more of a PlayStation character focus. You know, like seeing Kratos and Aloy and Spider-Man and shit like that.
Yeah, maybe we'll see more of those type of commercials, maybe.
Yeah. I know we didn't talk much about it, guys, but there does seem to be some PS5 controllers out in the wild. Stemming from Walmart. We don't know if any other retailers are allowing you to pick up a PS5 controller.
GameStop isn't.
GameStop isn't. Okay, GameStop isn't. This is the second report. Other report was coming from South Carolina. This Briggs is from New York. So in South Carolina from Yellow, they have confirmed that GameStop as well, that they're not going to allow you to pick up the controllers. Now, Walmart might think these controllers are just another PlayStation controller. They might not know the importance of allowing people to go and pick them up. But I would gladly take advantage of that. I live near Walmart. I haven't been there. I also live near 2 Best Buys and about 1 GameStop. Probably 1 or 2 Targets. So I will definitely be checking that. I have an additional controller already pre-ordered from Amazon. I have a camera from Best Buy and a PS5 digital console from Best Buy. So if they allow me to go and pick the camera up because it's available, I'll pick it up. If they don't, then I'll pick it up with the console. And as far as Amazon is concerned, that controller will be shipped whenever it's ready to be shipped. They might fuck up and ship it early. They might not. But as of right now on Amazon, they don't have a date. So
I'm just ready for next gen, basically.
Me
I'm
too.
ready.
I'm just finishing up on some games. Some of them I might not finish before next gen. Some of them I hope I will. I'm thinking, because Adam told me how close I am to the end, Avengers will be the next game I finish up in the story department, and then I would move on to finish up Call of Duty in the story department, and then move back to Doom 1 from 2016, finish that up in the story department, and then move back to Judgment and hammer down. It could be in a different order, but these are the games in my backlog that I want to finish. Kingdom Hearts 3, still trying to find a nice area to play the game. Due to the fact that it has so many copyright things, I can't actually live stream me playing any of it, except for on Twitch. Also, a game far back in my library is Trails of Mana, which I wish was done better. And of course, Ni no Kuni Remastered. Once I start playing that game, I can't stop. And then a few indie games, and that's pretty much it. And Genshin. So yeah. But yeah, after that, that's pretty much it. But I'm gonna let you guys go now. I'm gonna see if I can make it down to Burger King today, and probably a couple more times this week. And yeah, Adam, Briggs, I'll be in the chat through the night. But yeah, goobity goog. Everybody have a great rest of the Sunday. We're 25 days away from the PS5. 25 days, less than a month away from the PS5. And the time is only going to get shorter. You know, tomorrow it'll be 24 days, and by the end of next week it'll be 20-something days. It's gonna be fucking crazy. 20 days, not 20-something.
So you're gonna go to Burger King for 25 days?
Oh shit! It's Sam.
It's Sam. No, motherfucker. I'm going to Burger King for 3 more days this week. Today, and then 3 days this week, or 3 times this week. I'm trying, and after 5 attempts, if I don't win anything, then I'm gonna give up.
They do free deliveries on Sunday through the app. Excuse me.
Illegal. Yeah, but I don't know if I get the receipt or not. You know what I'm saying? I want to be.
No, as soon as you order from the map, it's automatic.
Yeah, but remember I told you they don't let me buy from that app with my card or any of the other shit. They won't let me buy it. So
it's not my fault society hates you.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I mean, I could go the DoorDash, but I'd rather just go up there and make sure I get the receipt myself, and you know, I don't trust them motherfuckers. They don't put the receipt in that shit anyway. Goobity geek. Well, actually they do. Actually they do. I might get me something.
I don't know. I could hook you up with the digital for 1K player.
No, I'm
still in here.
Oh,
okay.
Cool. Oh, okay. Well, guys, have a great day. If you need to get in contact with me, I used to have my PSN name in the links and shit until they changed the setup of that. But my PlayStation Network name is JaytechTV. If you have Ghost of Tsushima Legends or Ghost of Tsushima and you want to get on Legends, my name is JaytechTV HD. You can hop on there with me. Add me now. JaytechTV HD is my Twitch name. It is also my Twitter name. So there are 3 accounts. You can contact me with that. My YouTube name is JaytechTV. My Snapchat name is JaytechTV for anybody that uses that. I don't know. And then my Instagram name is also JaytechTV. There you go. If you needed any other links, or for whatever reason you want to send any birthday money or anything, I have all of that stuff. We also have the merchandise. So the new logo will be added later on tonight. We will be adding that logo. So we'll be adding that logo to a shirt later on tonight. Again, for whatever reason, and I have not seen it yet, for whatever reason, if you see anybody use this logo, please let me know. But I have not seen it yet, and I don't think anybody's stupid enough to use it without my permission. But please, this is the official PlayStation Legion of Gamers logo. Something I got created and nobody else in our community has ever gotten created. So just let me know if you see anybody trying to use that shit. Okay, I'll see you guys later. Tomorrow.